And just like that, it's over. This is the NFL on the MJ Morning Show. Let's bring in Fester, our sports handicapper, football gambling degenerate. Fester,
Yes.
Can we get full analysis, please, on the Bucks' 23-20 loss in the final seconds? I think I heard that this was the Bucks' fourth loss this season in the final play of the game. Fester on the sidelines, can you please take it away?
I'm glad to be here this morning after the devastating loss that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have suffered. MJ, it all came down to the doink.
It was a doink.
The doink.
It was a doink. The doink went in versus the doink going out.
That's the way it goes.
Yes.
That's life.
Yep.
Sometimes you doink in, sometimes you doink out.
Yeah.
This time, the Redskins doinked in.
It doinked in. So is that kicker a hero, or do they say, we've got to, because didn't I hear that, listen, I don't know about a lot about the Redskins or the Commanders now. By the way, shopping yesterday, just doing some supermarket shopping, there were a lot of Commanders fans in town, and I saw several walking around with Redskin shirts on.
Yeah, sure.
A lot of the Commanders fans, still call them the Redskins or still wear. Do they allow? I guess it hasn't gotten that bad.
I guess they won't stop you at the gate.
Yeah.
And be like,
Oh, you can't come in here. You've got a that is culturally offensive. That this is not going to work for us. I don't think anyone gets rejected at the gate. But shopping, doing some food shopping yesterday with the kids, saw numerous Redskins fans in town because they were wearing Redskins gear.
a lot of fans traveled in for the game. It was a great game. I was really impressed.
Yeah, it was.
It really was.
Very, very engaging game. It was. A lot of the playoffs games apparently kind of sucked.
Yeah, they were blowouts
right?
for the most part.
A lot of the playoff games sucked, and this between Washington and Tampa Bay was actually a very good game. Well, much better game for the Washington Commanders, formerly the Redskins, than it was for the Bucks, because the Bucks now have a copy of the home game as the season is over. Done.
Yeah.
Is that the end of your analysis, by the way?
The doink? I mean, what else is there? You know, Baker Mayfield's hair looked great. Speaking of hair,
Yeah.
when the kicker ran out to kick the game-winning doink.
What Michelle and I were taught. Why was he like fixed? Is that some kind of OCD hair thing?
I've never seen anything like that. And I by the time it registered as strange.
And he didn't even have long hair. He had a very cropped, tight haircut. So it's not like he did anything that would have changed the feel of the helmet that he put on his head.
He, from left to right, kind of brushed his hair 30 times, 40 times, a lot, to where I was like, okay, he's getting ready to is he going to put the helmet on now? And then he faked this out a couple times.
Yeah.
Brush, put the helmet on, took the helmet off, brush more.
Yeah, that's got to be some kind of OCD thing.
No kidding.
It's got to be some kind of weird, having to, walk 7 steps in one direction each way, front, back, left, right. I mean, just kind of weird, kind of strange pattern.
This kicker Gonzalez is sitting in the corner of the locker room.
That was his name, Gonzalez.
Like Rain Man. Gotta brush my hair. Gotta brush my hair. Brush my hair before the kick. Brush my hair before the kick. Gotta brush my hair. Brush my hair before the kick. Yeah, and yes, it went in. So he is a hero. It went in. And the end result's what matters.
It did go in, but it could have easily gone out.
Sure.
Did I hear that the Skins or the Commanders went through 4 kickers this season? Is that right?
A couple of times I heard Mike Tariq. I keep the announcers on low. I don't really listen to the I don't like the announcers as much as I used to.
What gets in the way of the sound of you chewing?
Yeah, it does.
All right.
It does. Yeah. I have. I'd rather listen.
You want to hear yourself chomp?
I'd rather listen to myself eat cheese puffs and Doritos.
Nom 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 nom. Nom 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 nom.
Than hear anything Chris Collinsworth has to say. I like Mike Tirico, but I don't give a crap what he. So, but I heard them say that they went through several kickers in Washington over the course of the season.
So, do the Commanders say, man, we need a kicker that can kind of put that thing right down the middle and not have a doink that could go either way?
It was as easy as a field goal as it could have been.
Yeah.
And mind you, I've never kicked a field goal before. I could never do it probably, but for this guy who's a professional who combed his hair 1,000 times before he put the helmet on and walked out onto the field, it was as close to a gimme as you can get, and it was a lot of drama.
Well, no gimme for the Bucks. The season is done, and it just stings even a little harder when it's a home game. Also, all of the home team wild card games, I believe, were winners.
Yes.
Other than the Bucks.
So 5 of the 6 wild card games have been played already.
And then all were home game winning team outcomes, except for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last night, right up here at the Ray J on Dale Mabry.
One doink away.
Boy. Listen, you had the fourth quarter handoff fumble. That was obviously a big turnaround.
Critical mistake.
That could have changed things dramatically. I mean, late in the fourth, the fumble. Just a bunch of mistakes that the Bucks, and a lot of penalties as well.
Little things, they add up at the end of the game. But
anyway,
Bucks lose, season's over.
Oh, boy. This has been the Bucks losing game analysis on the MJ Morning Show. And I'm sure this will come up a little later on. Did you have money on the game?
I did.
And you went with the Bucks?
And, of course, I picked the home team.
Yeah.
And and I'm homeless now. We put
Lost the
put
house.
the whole house up.
Lost the house.
Yeah,
All
everything.
right. Well, we'll have to start a GoFundMe for Fester.
Degenerate gamblers everywhere.
Yeah.
Just a couple of dollars would mean a lot.
Is it what? 888 admit it.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Is it
Yeah.
888 admit it?
Yeah, I have it actually
Is that-
written on the wall at my house, crossed out.
888 admit it.
Never call it.
All right. It's getting rolling, folks. 6:09. It's going to be a busy Monday morning. MJ Morning Show. Don't move. Back in a minute.
We have construction delays on I-70.
ridiculously warm. It's, 40 degrees outside. We've got windows that seem like they're as thin as a sheet of wax paper in this hellhole of a building. And it was still hot as monkey balls in here. And today, it's not really cold out. I like it today. Well, let me check my phone. Temp 56.
Yeah.
So here in St. Petersburg right now, 56 degrees and very pleasant outside. And this studio is just awful. This studio was hot last week when it was 40 degrees. We had numerous mornings, at 40, 42, 44 degrees, and the studio was still hot. The hallway's pleasant. You walk out of this studio into the hallway, it's like you walk out of a sauna at a health club into the cool hallway outside.
It's a relief.
It is.
Instant
relief. So I don't know what the hell's going. It's almost like there's some kind of a heat conspiracy that they're pumping in like blow dryer hot air into the studio.
Yeah, like
without the blow dryer noise.
Like little micro tortures that they're putting us through to see how long it takes before we break or something. But yeah, this is not a good environment. And if I leave the door open to try to get some air circulating in here, then we can hear all the hallway noise.
I don't open the door, please.
All right.
Professor, get up. I know it's tough for you to get up sometimes, but prop the door open.
Luckily, the chair has wheels on it. Roll over.
Yeah, you got to prop the door. You just can't pull the door. It's just gonna close right away.
We got a garbage can here, big old garbage can.
God, it's like a blaze in here.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what's going on. Hey, Meredith, is your studio hot as monkey balls down the hall?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know how much time she spends with monkeys, but
not monkey balls, but no, it's pretty cool. It's always cold. I love it in here, though.
Are you kidding me?
This is a woman's dream.
Are you kidding me?
We want to be warm. You guys always make the studios and everything so freaking cold. I remember working in the other studio a long time ago, and you'd be like, it has to be like 69 degrees because that's your favorite number. Well, I'm tired of it.
I never said that.
I'm tired of
it. You're making stuff up.
I never make anything up. This is what you said to me.
I like 65.
Yeah, same thing.
It's not the same thing.
It is.
You're trying to do some sexual innuendo over here.
Cold, okay?
I never
like
said
it.
that's an HR complaint.
There's no complaint here except for how cold it is all the time.
Well, say that I've never brought up the 69 joke.
No.
Yeah, it's 65.
Yeah.
65 is where.
5, 9.
It's 65 is where he gets done and he owes you 4.
That's right.
I mean, it was 42 degrees outside last week, a couple of days, and it's 107 in the studio.
Well, you're dressed for warm weather anyway, so why do you care, Mr. Gray Shirt? You're not you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, he's wearing all but nothing.
I've got a light T-shirt on and shorts, and I'm hot as ass in here.
You'll be fine.
Okay,
it's
thank
monkey
you.
balls and ass in here.
Thank you.
I'm fine, Mr. 69.
She spends a lot of time
Please
with
stop
monkeys.
it with your numbers. Stop it.
Bye, Mayor.
All right. Oh my God, I sent a text. I sent a group text to the engineers.
Yeah.
And our program director, and our general manager Ron DeCastro, and I said the Q105 studio is hot as
monkey.
Well, I used a different expletive that I can't use.
Okay.
And I said, I do not know whether we can continue the show this morning. We might just have to walk out of here. The only way this is going to get fixed if we just walk out of here. You know what? Let's put the Cranberries, the song we just played.
Yeah.
Let's put that on loop for the next 3.5 hours.
That's a good song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like the Cranberries.
All right. So this is just slowing my brain down with the heat in the studio.
Oh, no.
All right, Michelle just gave me a ration of crap.
About what?
How would I know that the Washington kicker actually has OCD and he struggled with it? Well, if you looked at him fix his hair 19 times as he was walking onto the field for the final game-winning kick, nearly a bad doink for him. It would have been much better if it was a bad doink for us. But the doink went in instead of the doink going out. Do you have the audio on that? Do we have the audio on the?
I have the Washington radio call.
Let me hear. Let me bring up the radio call.
Refresh
so this is not the NBC.
I like radio calls better than NBC people.
Hang on. Oh, listen. Do you hear anything? Oh, I hear the hairdryer. I hear the hairdryer bringing hot air into the studio. It's up in the ceiling. Yeah, that's it. I thought it was. Yeah, I thought it was. All right, here's the NBC audio. This is the NBC audio from the game last night.
The Washington Commanders off the upright, and it is in! They doink their way to the divisional round!
Oh, no, that is the radio call as well. Hey, Andrew,
that's Mike Tirico.
is that Tirico?
Yeah, it's Mike Tirico, and you can hear Chris Collinsworth.
Are you sure? Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
The Washington Commanders off the upright, and it is in! They doink their way to the divisional round! Unbelievable!
I have seen it all now. I even get a divisional doink.
All right, so that was the NBC audio. Anyway, so if you heard the opening of the show, obviously we addressed the Buccaneers and the season ender right off the bat as we opened the show. And we were talking about the kicker for the Washington Redskins, the Commanders.
Zane Gonzalez.
Yeah, and as he's walking on the field, he's like fixing his hair like 150 times. We'll put his helmet on, then he pulls the helmet off, fixes his hair again, then he puts the helmet back on, then takes it off. I mean, I don't know how many times he had to pat his head, and I said at the opening of the show, it's like some kind of crazy OCD thing, and then Michelle calls me during the commercial break. You need to be more sensitive. He has OCD. He struggled for years with it. So Michelle, seriously, my lovely wife just sent me a text with some kind of article about his OCD. So our diagnosis, Fester, we coded it properly.
You know what?
We're like medical billers here. We coded his OCD properly.
So on the Sunday Night Football
Yeah.
Instagram page, they show video of him and him obsessively working his sock before the kick.
All right, hang on a minute here. Really?
Yeah. So this is off of the Sunday Night Football Instagram page.
Oh, you know what? It sucks when you get that little line in the front of the sock and it's kind of off kilter.
But look-
or if you get like the sock rock.
Yeah.
You know if the sock is kind of clumped in the bottom and it feels like you got a rock in your shoe, it's the sock rock, is what it is.
Took off his shoe several times before the kick, adjusts his sock.
Oh wow! All right, so let me share this. Michelle sent me an article. I have some kind of a post from X.
Okay.
Zane Gonzalez has long struggled in his battle with OCD. Since he was a freshman at Arizona State, he has been public about coping with it. Tonight, the world was introduced to his tic of him constantly fixing his hair. All that matters is the doink that sends the Commanders further into the playoffs.
Okay, so he has OCD with his hair. All right.
Yeah, if you haven't followed the Commanders or Gonzalez's career, the Washington kicker has a severe OCD issue that causes him to rub his hand through his hair several times before putting on his helmet.
Several is an understatement.
Don't they have pills for this?
I don't know. Well, listen, it's nice to see this guy's not all hopped up on some kind of medication.
Well, maybe he is. Maybe it's just not working.
I mean, he would have rubbed his hair, 1,000 times if he wasn't on the pills?
And how am I to read this? That he's long struggled in his battle with OCD since he was a freshman at Arizona State. Did, like, the OCD just pop up when he was a freshman at Arizona State? By the way, that's not a real college. It's a big party school.
Yeah, they
That's-
don't,
it's-
they don't give real degrees or anything like that.
All they do is party.
So the thing is, a lot of times OCD behavior is just, accepted as normal when you're around your family. They just think you're quirky. They don't diagnose it as OCD. Then you get out in the world and people are like, okay, wait, hold on a second.
No, I think a lot of families diagnose somebody who has a weird tic with OCD.
Oh, that's just Zane. He likes rubbing his head.
He's just being zany.
Hey, look at him.
Just
Hey,
being
Zane.
Zany.
I think I see a hair out of place. But you get out and then things get diagnosed. So he's probably dealt with it his whole life.
No, we should. No, it says that I just said
He's
this.
dealt with it his whole life.
Well, but it seems, according to the article, that it just popped up when he was at Arizona State as a freshman. All right, you know what we ought to do? We should take phone calls later on. We should bring this back up, maybe next hour or maybe the 8 o'clock hour. We ought to bring this back up and talk about the OCD and get people to call up with what their OCD tics are. This guy has to rub his flat, tightly cropped hair 300 times
11,
before he puts
12,
his helmet on. Then he puts it
13.
on. He's got to take it off, rub again, take it off, put it on, take it off, rub.
All right, I counted 13 times that he rubbed his hair.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm watching the video.
Oh, my God.
It looks like it's the NBC feed of him walking onto the field. I've never seen a player walk onto the field
Wow.
and then take their helmet off, but he does to rub his hair. I counted 13. I might be
13
wrong.
hair rubs?
Yes.
All right, we got to go to phones on this sometime later on during the MJ Morning Show. A big pile of early morons of the news will roll next here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Stand by. It is 6:40 at the MJ Morning Show. Got to be time for morons in the news. Everybody's favorite is on. All right, let's dive in, see how many I can grab and jam in here. A couple of moron stories that made me laugh. From the Villages, Florida's friendliest hometown.
Really nice place.
The Villages. It's made me laugh. I saw the headline from the Villages News. Villager enters plea after allegedly torching tenant's couch.
Oh.
Okay, lovely. So you're the landlord. You have a tenant. You've got a little dispute. So you torch the tenant's couch. A landlord from the Villages has entered a plea in the case in which he's charged with setting the tenant's couch on fire during an unlawful eviction.
Isn't it some kind of arson or something, right?
That would be some type of arson, yes.
I am mildly familiar with local and state arson law.
Yeah.
And
would that be due to some kind of a turkey fryer incident back around 2011?
I had to take a crash course in state law.
What year was that? Do you remember what year
2010.
Was it 2010? The turkey fryer incident?
Maybe 09 going into 2010.
Youssef El Masri, 84 years old, who owns a home in the village of Santo Domingo in the Villages. Did I mention that's Florida's friendliest hometown? Is facing a felony charge of burglary, which I don't understand why there's not an arson charge here. During the arrest, I guess the guy wouldn't shut up. He was just yelling about the tenant. Entered a plea of not guilty in the case. He was previously accused of keeping trashy rental properties in the Villages.
Oh.
El Masri's female tenant arrived home and found her couch in a burn pit in the backyard. Or maybe
That's why.
Yeah, because he didn't. If he would have lit it up inside the
Right.
house, that would have been arson probably.
Inside the dwelling would have been arson.
Right, but taking the couch outside
Is robbery or
and
theft.
burglary.
Burglary. Okay.
Taking the couch, dragging it. Oh, I'm just curious. 84-year-old guy, did he drag the couch out himself and throw it in the burn pit in the backyard?
If you can lift up one end of a couch, you can
Light her up!
You can drag it. Pretty strong old man.
Yeah, 84-year-old guy lifted up couches. It's go time!
I'm lighting it up.
So she called the cops after she came home and her couch is on fire in the backyard.
Did you say a burn pit? What else
Yeah.
was in there?
I don't know.
Tires?
It just says burn. It just says burn pit. Was that a selling feature on the rental property?
Yes.
Oh, and you've got a burn pit out back in case you want to get rid of old mattresses and tires.
Just outside the screened in lanai.
Yeah, El Masri, the 84-year-old landlord, told the cops that he had verbally told the woman that he would be arriving at the home to remove her belongings.
Yeah.
Yeah, El Masri is a native of Egypt. I guess that's the way they do landlord-tenant disputes in Egypt.
That is actually.
They yank your crap outside and they light it up.
Culturally speaking, he did everything correctly.
Yeah, you know, King Tut in old ancient Egypt, he was a big landlord, and if the if they didn't pay their rent, torch their stuff.
Yeah. Big fire pits in Egypt.
Yeah, he claimed the tenant had not paid rent since last September and that she owed him $6,000. Well, clearly the way you settle this dispute is you drag her couch outside in the backyard and light her up.
You know what? Let's knock $1,000 off of that to replace the couch. My apologies. You only owe me $5 now.
I guess there's a handyman that was interviewed by police, a handyman that works for the landlord, and said that El Masri had burned the woman's furniture in the backyard. And then police saw metal frames from the furniture in the burn pit.
Yeah.
So I guess there's more than just the couch. The Villages, America's friendliest arson town, a couch burning town. Holy crap. I don't know what it is with the Villages, man, but they provide a lot of fun stories for us. Check this one out. One last Villagers story today from the Villagers News. A resident of the village of Citrus Grove.
I love the names of all of these.
By the
villages.
way, Citrus Grove, not to be confused with China Grove. Yeah. Yeah, this is Citrus Grove. All right, so what happened in Citrus Grove in the Villages? Well, resident there set for another felony arraignment later this month after a parking lot dispute at Walmart. All right, so Walmart parking lot dispute. Michael James Hawn, 50. I wonder if there's any relation to Goldie.
I'm sure they're very close.
Probably first cousins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Michael James Hawn,
Yeah.
who must be related to Goldie Hawn. Yeah, he's due in court, Lake County, on the 22nd to answer a charge of battery on a person 65 years of age or older. Because, you know, if you get into any kind of a fight, if there's any kind of abuse, if you scam elderly, there are enhanced accelerated charges if you do it to somebody over a certain age. So listen to this. The dude, the 50-year-old that got into the fight in the parking lot of Walmart, this New Jersey native was wearing a "Don't Poke the Bear" T-shirt when he was arrested on December 28th in this parking lot altercation, this fracas.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Something? Don't poke the bear?
Don't poke the bear. I use that all the time with the kids.
All right.
Kids start getting annoying with me.
No, listen,
Don't poke the bear.
I know what it means, but I was wondering if there was a deeper meaning.
Oh, I don't know if it has like
if there's
some
like
political meaning
yeah,
or
is
something.
there a "don't poke the"? I know you got "don't tread on
Don't
me."
tread on me. Don't poke the bear.
Don't poke the bear. Witnesses told law enforcement that Hawn was turning into an aisle in the parking lot when the other driver went around him. Ooh. According to an arrest report from the Fruitland Park Police Department, Hawn got out of his vehicle, began yelling at the other man, calling him names. The other man drove away, but Hawn got back into his vehicle, began following the other man.
Yeah.
Parking lot rage. When he stopped, Hahn used his car to block the old guy in.
That's right.
The other driver, well, I mean,
He poked the bear.
not really old.
The guy's wearing a shirt that says "Don't poke the bear." All the other guy does,
is poke the bear.
boink, boink, boink.
Yep. That's poking the bear right there.
I knew you.
Or at least in a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. Yes.
Do you have a bear sound effect now?
I do
because
not.
that would be perfect.
I do not have
Boink, boink,
like,
boink.
roar, like a
Yeah.
big bear roar. No. So the other guy drove away, then he followed him, then blocked the old guy in. The other driver got out of his vehicle, tried to enter Walmart, but Hahn, who's 5'10" and 220 pounds, approached him on foot and began swinging his fist at the other man, who put up his arms to defend himself. He suffered a small abrasion on the side of his face, a sore forearm. The report noted the two men were complete strangers. So they took this guy into custody. Mr. Hahn wearing the "Don't Poke the Bear" T-shirt. And you know what his defense is going to be?
What?
He had a warning shirt on, and the old guy poked the bear.
It's not wrong.
Talking about.
Put me in front of a jury of my peers.
All right, what do you do if your employer does not give you a Christmas bonus?
Oh man, you drive your car through the front window.
Check this out. Well, no, this is more of this is a domestic situation.
Okay,
All right,
all
so like domestic help. A Florida housekeeper assaulted and robbed her 83-year-old employer, who could not afford to give her a Christmas bonus this year, or technically last year. Yep, 29-year-old housekeeper robbed and assaulted her 83-year-old employer. This is on Christmas Eve. Story, I guess, just coming out, when the elderly woman said that she could not afford to pay her once trusted domestic help the holiday bonus that I guess that she's gotten in the past.
I tell you, man.
Yep.
The housekeeper knows what you can and can't afford. They see everything you got.
You know what this sounds like?
What?
This sounds like Clark Griswold in Christmas Vacation, where Cousin Eddie kidnaps Clark's boss because did they get instead of like a cash bonus, didn't he get like a Jelly of the Month club? Remember that?
We were going to put in a pool.
Exactly. And if there's any money left over, we'll fly the whole family in for the opening ceremony of our new pool in the Griswold backyard. Heather Nelson, 29, became irate when her request for a $500 bonus was rejected by her 83-year-old boss, decided to take whatever she wanted anyway, according to the Brevard County Sheriff's Office. Nelson responded by physically wrenching the victim's checkbook from her hand. "You're not going to pry this checkbook from my cold, dead hands." Well, she did. Yeah, physically wrenched. That's the description. The checkbook from the elderly woman, stealing a check from the checkbook, and then in an effort to, I guess, try to score the Christmas bonus, threatened her.
But she hand wrote her own check on the old lady's
Holy
paper?
crap. I'm right. You sign it. Yeah, the housekeeper, who repeatedly called the boss a Grinch, grabbed the checkbook with such force that she nearly broke the woman's wrist.
Oh, no.
Nelson then allegedly wrote a check for $1,400 and used the victim's credit card to pay her rent and make other purchases, according to the Brevard County Sheriff's Office.
Well, that's
Holy crap.
a very generous Christmas bonus.
And then in the press release from the Brevard County Sheriff's Office, they even wrote, "What's next? Get to kick her dog too?" They wrote that. The Sheriff's Office wrote that in the press release. My God.
It's a reasonable question.
All right, so she wanted $500 and was pissed off that she didn't get a $500 bonus, and then took the old lady with a fraudulent check for $1,400. My God. Anyway, she was busted last week, finally, after the check cleared and the credit card transaction was posted. Wow. What a nasty. I'm thinking that she's not going to be working for the old lady anymore.
Probably not.
And you know, she's got a pretty attractive mugshot as well. She's not it's on two different pages, so I got to do like like
You have to piece it together?
Yeah, I got to do a fold-in, like a Mad Magazine fold-in. Remember those?
Yeah.
When you were kids? When we were kids? Hold on a minute.
Let's see the top half.
All right, here we go. Tell me if this, can you see her?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to hold it up to MJTV.
Oh,
Hang on, let me.
it's off. The nose is off.
Yeah, nose is off a little bit. Oh, hang on a minute. I'm trying to line this up on MJTV
Not
this
as easy
morning.
as it looks.
Anyway, man, just some crazy, all Florida today. Our morons were all Florida-based today.
I like supporting the local economy.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Yeah. Hometown heroes.
Yeah.
All right, 6:53 at the MJ Morning Show. All right, 7 o'clock hour starts next. Hey, when we get back, oh, man, there's a woman, a 23-year-old woman, and this is my daughter's age. Chloe is 23, and I saw the story. A 23-year-old woman is lucky to be alive. You're not going to believe what a stranger did to our New Year's Eve.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just hearing about this story now. All right, hold on. You got to hear this and a whole lot more next here on the MJ Morning Show. Stand by. It is 7:01 at the MJ Morning Show. Let's go. Let's do it. The 7 o'clock hour starts right now. And, of course, that includes the launch of an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. Happens every morning about 7:25-ish. And that'll be minutes away. So enjoy this very fulfilling, entertaining segment, but the real long segment, uninterrupted nonstop MJ content. Begins at about 7:25 every single morning. Spread the word. The MJ Morning Show, best morning show entertainment in the market, hands down. Simple as that. Hey, do you still have the phone number for the St. Pete traffic guy that helped fix the traffic light synchronization problem at MLK and what is that, Roosevelt? What is that?
MLK and Roosevelt.
Roosevelt, right?
Yeah.
Remember a couple of years ago he fixed that? Remember we brought that to his attention that there was a big timing problem?
Yes.
And then they fixed it? Remember?
I do remember.
Do you still
that.
have the dude with the city of St. Pete?
I do not.
That's an important phone number that you're keeping your...
It's not that important.
Yes, it is.
I got it off this thing called the Internets. I never really heard of it.
Can you find the guy again?
I just typed a couple words into Google
or
website.
All right, we stop
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
Stop being a wise. Stop being a wise ass. All right, so listen, this is driving me nuts, and it's been a couple of months now. It's been since the hurricane, so it's been what, 3 months or so. You know, around town, a lot of the traffic lights got messed up. You ever notice, folks? You ever notice that when you hit a intersection, you on top of like the light, like the big metal galvanized poles that hold up the lights, you ever notice there's like a camera at the intersection?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people think, oh, that's surveillance. No. Those things are to detect traffic. So it knows when to hold a light green in the other direction. If there are no cars coming, or if you notice that when you pull up to a light, that suddenly the other side goes yellow, then red, and then you get the green. Well, that's what these cameras do in many cases. And a bunch of them got whacked. I know that near my neighborhood, near my house, there were a number of traffic lights that were all effed up and out of sync after the hurricanes because of the wind damage, et cetera. And it took, weeks or if not, a month or more for them to get these things fixed. So the ones near my house, they finally fixed over the last, month or so.
Oh, good.
But this is driving me nuts, Fester, and it happens on the way in. When I'm heading off at 275 southbound, I get off at the 4th Street exit, head south on 4th to get to our studio near 4th and Gandy here in St. Pete. And right at the 7-Eleven on 4th, this is all the way up near 275. So it's 1/16th. This is not going to be FDOT. This is not going to be that's not a state road issue. This is local. All right.
Looking for information, trying back into it.
So I don't think it's going to be I don't think it's state. I don't know. Anyway, so it's 116th and 4th, and if you're heading south on 4th, that freaking traffic light, it just sits green on the side streets for a ridiculous amount of time, and there's no traffic. There's nothing there, and then the left turn lanes are supposed to sense when there are cars waiting for a left turn, and then give them the arrow. When there are no cars. No arrow.
You get the arrow.
But now we got the arrow. So we got a ridiculous time on 1/16th, heading to 4th. And then we got the green. Then finally, they turn red on the side streets at 1/16th and 4th. And then the green arrow goes. And there's no one sitting there. There's nobody. No cars. No need for the arrow.
You're very worked up over
I
this.
am, because it was perfect. It worked fine before the hurricanes, and they just haven't gotten that intersection. So, Fester, listen, this is driving me nuts. I mean, I'm at the boiling point. I'm about to rent a Bobcat and knock the whole intersection light system down.
Don't do that. Don't do that. There's got to be a better way.
You think so?
Than
yeah,
that
yeah.
way.
The better way is to get a hold of that traffic engineer guy that you got a hold of a couple of years ago to fix the traffic lights at Roosevelt and MLK. So get that guy on the. I can't believe it. That we got right into that guy, and it was fixed within a day.
We'll get back
and you
into
lose the guy's phone number. How do you lose the guy's phone number?
Well, it's not that I lost it because I never saved it.
Anyway.
I mean, you have to save something and want to keep something before you can lose something.
And I mentioned this before the break, man. This is scary stuff, especially when this woman is the same age as my daughter. My God, you got to be careful when strangers give you a drink. Make sure if you're out clubbing, if you're out bar hopping, whatever you're doing, make sure that you have full control of your drink. A drink needs to come from the bartender. Don't leave your drinks unattended. We've talked about this in the past. Now, we've heard about, folks getting roofied up or, some kind of a drug being put in drinks. Well, listen to this. And this is a very chilling, cautionary tale. A 23-year-old woman from Wyoming was allegedly poisoned by antifreeze when offered a free drink on New Year's Eve.
Oh, no.
What the hell? Antifreeze?
How devious is that?
Kaylee Klein was celebrating with friends at the Silver Dollar Bar and Grill in Cody, Wyoming, when she was handed a drink by a stranger just before closing time at 1:30 a.m. The young woman was soon picked up from the bar by her fiancé, Sean, but wasn't home for 10 minutes when she started foaming at the mouth and experiencing seizures, according to KTBX television in Wyoming. Might be the only television station in Wyoming.
Wyoming's #1 TV station.
So Sean, the fiancé, calls 911, and they airlifted her to St. Vincent Regional Hospital 100 miles away in Billings. Sounds like an episode of Yellowstone. By the way, we started watching that.
Okay.
I've got some thoughts. I got to bring this up later on. And let me circle this on my list. Yellowstone. Hang on a minute. Okay.
Wyoming antifreeze.
Yeah. All right. So doctors at the hospital believe that Klein consumed antifreeze. You got to be kidding me. What kind of a sick, devious wacko would put antifreeze? What, do you have a little, jar of antifreeze in your pocket? You then spike the drink? What is the purpose here?
This is terrible.
If you drink antifreeze, that can cause, internal organ damage, all kinds of stuff. So antifreeze is said to have a sweet taste due to ethyl glycol, which makes it difficult to notice if it's mixed with another beverage, according to Poison Control.
Really? I heard they changed that. I heard it was sweet, and they changed the formula because of cats.
Well, there was a bittering agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were supposed to put in a bittering agent, but I don't know if everything has that. Yeah, listen, that's a good research project for you.
Not really.
The definitive cause is impossible to tell due to blood being drawn too late after the incident, according to local news. Wow, is that not nuts? She spent 6 days in the hospital and was adamant that she wanted to walk out of the hospital on her own 2 feet.
How'd that go?
She finally did.
Good for her.
Yeah. Klein's mother told a local news outlet, the Cowboy State Daily, guess that's the big newspaper in Cody, Wyoming,
Yep.
that her daughter remembers what the person who handed her the free drink looked like. And Cody police are conducting interviews and investigating the incident as quickly as they can. I'll tell you what she needs to do. They need to bring in the Cody Police Department artist and do like an artist sketch.
Yeah.
If she remembers the person that handed her the free drink. But what kind of a devious bleep would spike a drink potentially with antifreeze to potentially kill somebody? What?
Got to bring in the Cody, Wyoming CSI to investigate.
If you don't know someone, don't take a drink from them. That's the bottom line. You got that? If you don't know somebody, do not take a drink from them. Do not leave your drinks unattended at a bar. Holy crap, man. That's scary stuff.
You ever been to Cody, Wyoming?
I've never been to Cody, Wyoming.
This is a Wild West looking town. I've never been there either. I'm looking at the pictures on
I've
Google.
been to, Jackson Hole.
Yeah, this isn't Jackson Hole. This isn't hoity-toity Jackson Hole. Okay? This is rustic board buildings. They have a whole downtown from like
Looks like
1840.
a Western movie
yeah,
set.
it really does. Wow.
No, I've been to other places in Wyoming. I've been to every state. Remember, I've been to every state in the country except for North Dakota. That's my bucket list. Got to find out if a Legion still flies out of St. Pete, Clearwater to Fargo, North Dakota.
I think it's only a summer month flight.
I got to do that. Yeah, I'm trying to see where else I've been in Wyoming. So I've been to Jackson, and I've been to Grand Teton. I've been to Grand Targhee.
Okay, yeah, any place that doesn't involve skiing?
Yes.
Okay, you been to Cheyenne?
Yes, I have.
Didn't you and Julian go there a couple weeks ago? A couple months ago? Couple, maybe 8 months ago? Over the summer, didn't you go?
Dude, we went to Wyoming like 8 years ago. What do you mean a couple of weeks ago? What's the matter with you?
It seems I remember a story. So listen.
Yeah, the story was...
The time continuum around here is very weird sometimes.
Yeah, the story was... You've got a time continuum problem.
Yeah.
No. The story is that Julian and I flew into Denver International, and Michelle was coming from somewhere else. I can't remember what the story was, but Michelle was 12 hours behind us. We flew in like at 10 a.m., and Michelle wasn't coming in until like 10 p.m., so we had 12 hours to kill before we had to go back to Denver International to pick up Michelle. And I said to Julian, so we're at Denver International, I'm like, hey, you want to go have lunch in Wyoming?
Let's go. It was like, what, an hour and a half away?
So
2 hours away? Something like that?
Yeah, it was like, I don't know, 2 hour drive. Whatever the story was, we got on, on I-70, and then I hooked a right onto I-25.
Yeah, 25 north.
Went through Fort Collins. Then we hit the border into Wyoming. And then not far over the border is Cheyenne. So, yeah, Julian and I, we had lunch in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Okay.
And then, this is a great story. And what happened after that really got Julian interested in filmmaking. And now, of course, Julian is a film student at NYU Tisch Film in Manhattan, the top film school in the country.
What, did you meet Steven Spielberg or something at Starbucks?
No.
What happened?
So while killing 12 hours, we drove to Wyoming to have lunch. I'm like, you know what? I haven't been to Wyoming in a while. Let's just get in the car and head to Wyoming.
Yeah.
So after we had lunch in Wyoming, we walked around. There's some like train museum there, and we we went to this train museum, and let's see. Then we had so much time to kill. I said, hey, let's go see a movie. And Julian wanted to see, I think it was a Transformers movie. One of the Transformers movies was out, and it was playing at a multiplex in Fort Collins, Colorado.
Okay, so you come back.
So we come back from Wyoming after lunch, and then we tooled around, Wyoming for a little bit, just kind of looking at tumbleweeds and stuff. And I think we got into an old Western shootout, if I'm not mistaken. So we head on back to Fort Collins, Colorado, and I think it was a Transformers movie, but something happened with the timing, and we got there like 20 or 30 minutes late, and the movie, the trailers were over, the movie had started. And I was like, son of a God. And we missed the movie. And the only other movie that was going to play at that particular time that would have worked with our schedule was that movie Chef. Remember the movie Chef?
Vaguely.
There's a scene with the chocolate lava cake. Yeah, bring up a Chef movie. Bring that up. And
the food truck
is the food truck guy, and then he had a restaurant. He worked at a restaurant, and there is a what 2014. So it's what
10 years ago.
Oh my God, it's even more than I thought. I thought it was 80. It's 10 years ago.
Your kid was 10 or
Yeah.
11.
Yeah, Julian was exactly, and Chef is rated R. And I said to Julian, let's go see this movie, Chef. And, Julian knew nothing about it.
Yeah, don't tell Mom.
And at his age, he really didn't care to see the movie. He's like, I don't want to see Chef. I'm like, listen, it's the only thing playing right now. Let's go see Chef. Anyway, it turned out to be a life changer for Julian. He loved the movie. For whatever reason, he loved this freaking movie, the chocolate lava cake scene, which is hysterical in that movie. And Julian got bitten by the bug. And it was watching that movie that for some reason it set off some kind of a light in his head that he wanted to get into the movies and wanted to make movies. Just loved and that was the catalyst. So that's why Julian's at NYU today is because of our trip to Wyoming and then back to Colorado, killing time, waiting to pick up Michelle at Denver International Airport.
And the bigger lesson is don't take drinks from strangers.
And exactly.
Right.
Do not take drinks from strangers in Wyoming or
anywhere
else for that matter. Absolutely right.
You ever see like the cup scrunchies or anything like that?
The ones that turn colors or whatever?
There's like an elastic thing that goes over your drink. It's like a drink cover that, a lot of ladies have if they put their drink on the bar or something so their drink doesn't get tampered with or something gets spilled in there.
Sounds like you need a padlock then.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Anyway, listen, don't leave your drinks alone and never take a drink from someone you don't know. That's the bottom line. All right, 7:17 at the MJ Morning Show. We start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next. Of course, the Bucks have a copy of the home game. They're done after a heartbreaking last-second loss. I mean, that's like the fourth time this season that they've lost in the final play of the game. And all done. So they went further than anyone thought this season, at least according to the early season predictions. So they outperformed where they were supposed to be. But listen, they could have been, in Philly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have played Philly.
They would have played Philadelphia.
The Skins are the Commanders now. They're going to play Detroit. All right, 7:18 at the MJ Morning Show. Heads up, we start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next. Oh, there's a bunch of L.A. fire stories that are very interesting, including the potential cause of one of the big fires. It's like, you got to be kidding me. Unbelievable. All right, hold on. We'll get to that coming up in just a bit. Oh, also, I got a ton of audio to play. There's just a ton of sound bites that we'll get to in the next segment. And again, an hour and 20 minutes is a lot of time. And I'm telling you right now, it's all killer. It's no filler. And it's next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Stand by. 6 of the MJ Morning Show. Fester does not like that new rejoiner. The one that said transmitting without red dye number 3 for your safety. So I said to Fester last week, oh, you think you can do better? Then you write a bunch of new MJ Morning Show little promo sweepers. In the business, those little things, you know, the MJ Morning Show, those are called sweepers. So I said to Fester, okay, you don't like some of the new ones that I introduced in 2025? Well, you go ahead and write a bunch of them, and you get them produced, and you roll them by me. So the question is, have you written them, and when are you going to premiere the Fester-written sweepers for the MJ Morning Show?
All right, so far you have 2 very good questions.
Oh,
First question, have I written them?
Thank you.
The answer to that question would be yes.
Okay. Yes.
Tomorrow, we will unveil the finished product of the half a dozen jingles, what do they call rejoins, that I came up with.
I just said sweeper 19 times. Are you listening to the show?
No, I don't. I call things what I want to.
All right, it's a rejoiner, it's a sweeper, whatever it is.
I call things what I want to
so
call
how
them.
many do you have?
6 of them.
6 of them. And you will debut them tomorrow morning here on the MJ Morning Show.
The barometer for success in this mission is it funnier than MJ's red dye number 3? So I don't know that I've ever had a lower comedic scale to hit, but I'm going to give it my best shot.
You're just having you're having me for lunch over here, aren't you?
Well, listen.
Right. All right, so Fester's new show promo sweepers, rejoiners, we'll listen to them and evaluate them tomorrow morning here on the MJ Morning Show. All right, it's time for MJ Morning Show Radio Theater.
Ooh, I love radio theater.
All right, I'm going to sort of demonstrate something, and you tell me if you have any idea what I'm doing. Oh, look, a bag of Doritos. I love Doritos. Let me take a bite. Oh my God!
No.
Ow! Oh my God! Oh my God! Ah!
So obviously something in the Doritos is causing you a degree of significant pain.
All right, that would be a good deduction there, Sherlock.
Was there shards of glass in the Dorito?
No,
were there pebbles from the cornfield?
Come on, hold on. Am I entertaining you?
I just gotta say,
All right.
Go step up, Rich.
I heard you screaming from down the hall.
This is Rich from our Wild Morning Show.
Yeah.
So we're doing radio theater now, Rich.
I want you to tell me what's going on here.
All right. Here we go.
Oh, wow. Yummy. A bag of Doritos. I love Doritos. Let me open those up. Oh, I'm going to eat a Dorito and... Ow! 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 Oh, my God! Ow! Ow! All right.
One of the corners caught the roof of your mouth.
Yes!
Holy crap!
Dude!
Come on, dude.
Oh, my God.
That's the easiest thing right there.
Have you ever been Dorito stabbed?
Yes, but that was a very dramatic reenactment. I thought there was something hard in the bag. I thought you cracked your tooth or something.
Dude, anybody that's eaten Doritos knows that the corners, they get caught, they cut the roof of your mouth.
Oh my God!
Done.
If those things hit properly, it's like getting knifed or shanked in prison.
Agreed.
Yeah, it is.
Agreed.
Worse.
It's a Dorito shanking.
He knows.
Yes.
He's been to prison.
Hey, we won't talk about that.
All right, good
That's
job,
a
man.
pass.
Rich, thank you, brother.
Good job. Yes.
All right.
Everyone's had a Dorito stabbing where you're eating a Dorito and it catches the roof of your mouth in the right way and it stabs you. Now, this has happened to me numerous times over the years, but this is not a story about a recent stabbing. I wasn't stabbed over the weekend while watching, NFL. No. I saw a story, and this could be some kind of a yank job. This could be some kind of publicity stunt, but it's not April Fool's time. This is what? This is January 13th. January 3rd. So we're far away from April 1st, but there's a story on social media, and it's kind of a cryptic message, an Instagram post from Doritos, and so it originally posted on the Doritos UK account for the United Kingdom.
Sure, I guess.
But people here in the States are going, oh, no, they're teasing a shape change.
Ooh.
Or the introduction. Come on. Doritos are triangles, and they were teasing some kind of a square Dorito chip.
Wouldn't that be just as bad?
Listen,
maybe not. I don't know.
I don't,
four sharp corners?
I don't think it's as bad. There's just something about the triangular tip, like the pizza tip, that, stabs people. But I was just bringing up the fact that, would that change the stab factor if they did change? Maybe they're being sued by too many people for you know what?
Can you sue over that?
I doubt. I wonder if there ever has been an attempt at a lawsuit because somebody was stabbed in the roof of their mouth with a sharp Dorito corner. And folks listening right now know exactly what I'm talking about. People listening right now, I bet you everyone listening has been stabbed by a Dorito at one point in their life.
All right, Dorito, admittedly, is not my favorite chip. However, it's a very good chip.
Of course it's a good chip.
As far as chips go,
Yeah.
Doritos knows what the hell they're doing. Everybody's had to have been stabbed by one sooner or later.
I mean, I wonder if anyone got stabbed and it got infected, you got sepsis and died. I wonder if there have been any Dorito stabbing funerals. I mean, think about it.
Jake was a good man. He loved Cool Ranch as much as he loved Nacho.
Just didn't work out well for...
Didn't work out.
What was his name?
Jake.
For Jake.
Yeah, Jake.
Yeah.
Poor Jake.
All right, anyway, so I don't know what the deal is, but there's a little bit of a buzz that Doritos seems to be indicating there might be a new shape coming, or I don't know.
If they wanted to eliminate the stabbing factor, they would go to a round shape,
Yeah,
like a tortilla shape.
or an oval,
Shape. Something.
round oval, yeah.
But I don't know that square solves anything.
All right, so listen, maybe they're introducing a square Dorito at some point. Anyway, it's a teaser that's out there, and it just got me thinking of the Doritos roof mouth stabbing situation. All right, Fester and I already had a conversation. This was before the show started. Fester was actually here for about 30 seconds before the show opened this morning.
That's about right.
I was running a little late today. I was engrossed in something, so I didn't hit the show activator. I was maybe a minute late opening up the show today, or maybe 30, 40 seconds. So we had enough time to actually have a conversation before the show started today.
Yes.
And we're both in agreement. How do people get run over by trains? I mean, listen, we know that cars try to beat the train. There was a crazy bright line.
Last week.
Yeah, last week over in North Miami, in Miami. There was a car. it just like drove right through the arms.
Everybody stopped, and one
Yeah.
car and the oncoming dash cam
Yeah.
caught the whole
Yeah.
thing.
So everyone stopped for one of these bright line trains to go by. This is, like North Miami. And the cars are stopped. The arms are down. And for whatever reason, this driver says, I'm not waiting. And just decides to drive and just gets nailed. Listen, call me sick and twisted. Call me just a morbid F. But there's just something cool about seeing, cars hit by these or the trucks, the tractor trailers. Oh, I think I can make it. I think I can make it. And the train blasts through, or a flatbed carrying like 50-foot-long like concrete pillars for like an interstate, or huge concrete like sewage pipes, and then here comes the train and just blasts the whole damn thing. Anyway,
It ruins everybody's day.
Right.
It really sucks.
It does. All right, the train's got to stop, and if you're going somewhere, that's going to hold you up for a couple of hours. It's a pain in the ass. Hey, you also in Fort Lauderdale or Delray Beach, this is about a month ago, there was a fire engine. Of all people, a fire engine went around the arms to try to beat the train, and a $500,000 fire engine was obliterated.
What was that guy thinking?
I don't know. I'll tell you what he's thinking. He's thinking that he's not driving fire trucks anymore.
No.
That's what I'm guessing. So anyway, we know about the vehicles that get hit, but it's always fascinating. People, humans, just pedestrians walking. And Fester and I had this conversation. How the hell does a pedestrian get hit by a train?
I'll never understand. I mean, unless the person has something to where they're ready to check out.
Yeah, I mean, this is a story right out of Dover here.
Yeah,
This-
off of MLK and Alpha
Dude,
MLK.
This is where your real job is.
Yeah, so I work closer to I-4, but MLK is about
Right.
3 miles south, runs straight into
So
Plant City.
Fester works in Dover. Fester works for General RV.
Nowhere near the train tracks.
That's
by
the
way.
real bread and butter for the house because he's not making dick
Hey,
here.
Don't you forget
All right, so...
And we're going to hire somebody new?
All right, so this dude is hit by an Amtrak.
Unbelievable.
I know there have been stories where there are runners or joggers that have their earphones in or their AirPods, earbuds, whatever, and they don't hear the train. But why the hell would you be jogging on a
train track.
railroad? I know I've heard those stories in the past, but you wonder when you hear this story: man struck and killed by Amtrak train while walking across the tracks. Was he intentionally trying to meet his maker?
Have you ever been right next to the train when it blows its horn? Like right next to it? It is so loud that
I've been stopped at a crossing where it's blowing the horn as it comes through.
when you are standing next to it
Right.
and your train is passing within, 10 or 15 feet and it blows its horn, it's so loud, it's debilitating.
Well, you used to have one of those train horns. Remember where the train horns were big?
I had a train horn that went to a truck.
And some listener put it in?
Yeah.
All right, so that train horn was not like a real train horn?
Okay, it was a loud horn for
Can you
a
get
car.
can you get a real train horn installed in your car?
It would probably blow the hood off of your off your vehicle. MJ, it's so debilitatingly loud, these train horns, when you're so close to them. You can hear them from miles away.
Yeah, 53-year-old guy, Andres Poptupel, was walking across the tracks when he was struck by the Amtrak. I mean, how does that happen?
I mean, I'll never understand that. The
Yeah,
guy had to
happened Saturday at 4 p.m.
he had to have had a death wish.
So,
I've seen people just walking along the tracks before.
yeah, obviously condolences to friends and family and
Yeah.
anyone that knew Andres.
But
you got to wonder, how does a pedestrian walking across? I don't even think he was walking on the tracks in the direction of the train, but walking across.
are you looking for a thrill? Are you looking for a little adrenaline rush? I don't get it at all.
When an Amtrak or a freight train, when it hits a vehicle, a lot of times there's like no damage to the train. So when it hits a person, there's like really no damage to the train.
It's
a terrible
bounced
story.
right off.
Yeah. Oof.
Weren't you on a train that hit a car?
Yeah, in South Carolina. I was on the auto train. Julian and I were taking a vehicle up north.
How does everything happen to you? It's amazing.
I don't have a lot.
It's amazing.
lot of crap happens to me.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I was in a train that got hit by a
Yeah.
car. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we were on the auto train just outside of Charleston. We were in, what was it? Just outside of Charleston. And there was a drunk guy that stopped his car right on the railroad tracks. And he got out of the car, left the car, drunk off his ass apparently. And it was some Vietnamese guy. Seriously, I remember the name. It was a Vietnamese name.
Awful.
And the dude up outside, just north of Charleston. What was the area? Bring up the map. Just that was going to drive me nuts. You know, it's one of my OCD things. And we got to get back into the OCD story. We ought to take phone calls on the whole. There was an OCD moment during the Bucks and Skins game, Bucks and Commanders game last night. But Julian and I were on an Amtrak that hit a vehicle, and we were stopped for like an hour and a half while they sorted the whole thing out.
That's short of a time.
That wasn't even a fatality. No, listen, if the guy was squashed by the train, it probably would have been longer. But the drunk dude, got out of the car, left the car on the tracks, and we just plowed into the car. And the fact that there wasn't a fatality, that just sped up the whole process. But we were still stopped for like an hour and a half. What line am I taking? Line 2? And Andrew wants me to grab, who is it? Dina on line 2. Dina, hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show on 104.7 FM Q105. Hello.
Hey, MJ.
Hey.
So if the train is not blowing the horn, you cannot hear it coming. My brother was hit by a train in Charleston.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding.
Was he
So in
walking
Charleston,
along?
They don't have the gates. They just don't take care of their railroad crossings, and they don't take care of the ground. And he loved his car. He had like a Mustang convertible.
Right.
And so he goes through slow because he didn't want to damage his tires. Looked both ways, saw nothing. He was fortunate because the train was backing up. So there were no lights. They didn't blow their horn, plowed right into him twice. Plowed in once, spun him, hit him again.
Oh, my God. And was your brother okay?
He was fine, walked away from it.
All right, well, good for him.
I mean, even looking left and right, how do you miss the train?
Yeah, it's kind of a big object.
There were no lights.
I get that.
Well, it's dark out. It was like 4 a.m.
But the trains have a big bright light.
Not on the back.
Not in the back. All right, I guess, yeah. I guess it can happen. I mean,
I don't know of many trains that are backing up at intersections.
it happens.
I
I mean, they back
Anyway.
up, I guess.
All right, well, Dean, I'm glad your brother's okay.
Me too.
All right.
All right, thank you, Dina.
By the way, I checked the map. We hit the car in Goose Creek,
Okay.
just a little north of Charleston.
I didn't mean to.
Goose Creek, South
I
Carolina.
didn't mean to offend people who've
Yeah.
survived incidents with trains. By the way,
Let me grab Sandra in Tampa. Sandra, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, good morning.
Hi, Sandra.
So I just had a quick story. When I was like, I want to say like 10, maybe 12, I was friends with this kid named Michael, and he was walking his dog on the railroad track,
Oh, no.
and his foot got caught in the track.
Oh, that's like a movie. That's like a horror movie story.
Unfortunately, he got hit. One leg he completely severed off, and then the other one was so chewed up that they had to take it off. So he lost both of his legs for it, and they never found the dog. And
Wait a minute. What do you mean they never found the dog?
well, the train was like, it goes over the Hillsborough River.
Oh, hold on. This happened locally?
Yeah, this happened when I was like, 10, 12 years old.
What year was this? About what year?
Well, I'm 55 now, so you're talking, probably 40 years ago.
Wow. So sometime in the early 80s?
Yeah.
What was it?
Not in the 80s. Because I was only in, whatever grade, like third, fourth grade.
Yeah.
All right.
You're
So
young grade school.
what was the kid's name?
I only remember his first name. His first name was Michael.
I wonder where Michael is that got hit by a train in Tampa like 40-something years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, listen, 40 years ago puts us in 1985 is 40 years ago. 40 years ago is 1980. Yeah.
how old are you, Sandra?
She said 55. She
I'm
already said.
55.
Yeah, so 48
Yeah.
years ago, maybe.
All right.
You're in
Hey, Sandra,
third grade.
thanks for the call. I hope Michael's still with us. But
I mean,
Michael lost both of his legs, right?
Yep, because of getting hit by the damn train.
Wow.
getting hit by the damn train.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, let me grab one more call. Let me grab, what line am I taking?
This is Mike.
All right, Mike is in Clearwater. Mike, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well.
So, love the show. I'm from up north, too. This happened in New Jersey, in Little Falls. There was a guy that got hit by a train because in Little Falls, the parking lot is on the other side of the tracks. And the train was coming. He wanted to catch this one because the next one was an hour. So he's running across the track,
Ooh.
tripped or something, and got run over.
Oh, no.
Problem was he was still alive under the wheel, which leads to the second part. Second part is Amtrak has a person that's dedicated, and their whole job is to bring a phone out to the site of an accident where the person's still alive. Because in case they have to back the train up and the guy's not going to make it, they give the phone to the person so they can say goodbye to the family.
Oh, get out of here. Hold on.
That sounds really
Hold
urban
on.
legendy.
Come on, that's not, that can't be real.
Yeah, I've been working for Amtrak for 40 years. Oh, yeah, what's your job?
I'm the phone guy.
I bring the phone to the living people.
I rushed the phone out to the guy that's stuck under the train.
I had a guy that worked for New Jersey Transit. It might have been New Jersey Transit, actually, not Amtrak. But they were telling me about that. That was their whole thing.
Mike, come on. That sounds like the phoniest thing. Are you serious, Mike?
I'm serious.
One guy's whole job was to bring the phone out
to a guy that's severed under the train so he can say goodbye to his family?
Is that like a doctor on call? You're out to dinner with your wife. Oh, honey, I gotta go.
I gotta bring a phone out to a guy that's stuck under the train.
Yeah, you gotta.
So he can say goodbye to his wife, Myrna. Myrna, I'm under the train. Goodbye. Mike, thanks for the call.
No problem.
It's amazing. Mike, thank you. That's amazing. I mean,
I got to Google that later.
I don't have any information to discredit what Mike said, but it sounds really urban legend.
That sounds, I'm sorry, it sounds ridiculous. All right.
Call the phone guy. I don't think I'm going to make it.
It is 7:46 at the MJ Morning Show.
That's crazy. Just be careful if you're near train tracks.
Yeah.
Keep your head on a swivel.
Public service announcement. Be very, very careful. Make sure a train's not coming when you're walking across the tracks. And we feel awful for the family of, the Andres who was lost in Dover, here in the Tampa Bay area. All right. Michelle and I finally did it. Well, not that. I mean,
right.
all right.
Third time's the charm.
Well,
2 kids and now.
well, all right, that didn't come out right.
Finally did it.
All right. So Michelle and I finally watched it. All right.
What, the River Stone? No, the Stone. Yellowstone.
Yes.
Okay.
How'd you guess that?
You said it earlier because we were talking about Cheyenne or we're talking about Wyoming.
Did I?
And you said, I started watching Yellowstone finally.
Yeah.
I got some thoughts about
So
that.
we're years late. We've just been so busy. There's just so much crap to watch, between our movie list and all of the streaming. There's so much streaming. And I still have like a dozen or 2 things that we still have to try to get to. And Yellowstone has been one of the shows that, everyone we know, oh, you got to watch Yellowstone. It's the best. You got to, oh my God, you haven't watched Yellowstone? No, we haven't watched Yellowstone. It's on the list. Well, finally, on Saturday night, we watched a movie, and then we watched the first episode of Yellowstone.
You want me to get you a Dutton Ranch ball cap or something? Or a nice vest?
Have you watched?
Nope. Not one episode. Because it's the kind of
so
thing.
how'd you know Dutton? How'd you know that Kevin Costner plays Dutton?
It's a thing in pop culture.
Oh, okay, all right.
You'll see Walmart, maybe not now, but at one time when it was in its real heyday, had like a whole section of like Dutton Ranch apparel.
Really?
And I'm like, what's this Dutton Ranch? I thought
Dutton
it was like,
Ranch.
I literally thought Dutton Ranch was like a brand.
Right.
And then I typed Dutton Ranch
Right.
and it's like the Yellowstone family. Like,
Here's
oh.
the deal. This is why I'm bringing it up. So it is a milestone that we finally watched Yellowstone, season 1, episode 1. And I don't know if this is one of these shows where you got to watch like the first 2, 3, 4, and then you get hooked and you can't put it down. But if I just had to go by season 1, episode 1, I'm not coming back.
Everybody says, nobody says the show sucks.
I know, but Michelle and I both at the end of the first episode was like an hour and a half. It was like, when is this thing going to end? So the first episode was an hour and a half, and maybe it's just hearing for years and years, oh my God, you got to watch Yellowstone. It's so amazing. And it didn't really grab me. But there, in all fairness, there have been shows where it's taken a couple of episodes for it to hook me and grab me by the xiphoid and pull me in.
I feel that Yellowstone, because I'm so late to it, is the kind of show I have to binge watch. I have to, dedicate a week to just knocking out show after show after show after show.
Trying to reach voicemail, please hang up and dial your own number.
I am dialing my own number, you
Press 1 for directory assistance.
Don't blame the messenger. She's trying to help.
What the hell is she saying to me?
What'd you misdial?
I misdialed nothing. I'm calling my house phone. Calling Michelle. I'm looking at the digital display. It's not operator error. I called the right number. I'm pushing the right numbers here. And I get some.
So if you like Yellowstone or will like Yellowstone,
hey,
yeah,
are we in agreeance? By the way, agreeance is a word. It's just not. It's not preferred.
Yeah.
Are we in agreement that Yellowstone was a little lackluster for us?
Yeah, I might have to watch another couple episodes just to figure it out.
you got to give it a little time. It's a big story.
I know it's a big story, but
it is kind of like a little Dallas 2.0, right?
Yeah, it's like
Dallas 2020.
Yeah,
but you didn't watch Dallas, so you wouldn't even know what I'm saying.
I saw a couple of Dallas episodes when I was younger.
Oh,
yeah.
Who shot JR? Okay, whatever.
No, it is. It's modern day Dallas.
Is Sue Ellen there?
All you need is Larry Hagman guzzling vodka bottles.
Right.
Yeah.
You watched Dallas for Charlene Tilton?
Remember?
Nah, she never did it for me.
Victoria Principal was much hotter.
Yeah, that was a different show. What was Victoria Principal on?
Dallas.
Oh, she was? Oh,
Yeah.
I was thinking of that other one.
Who's Pamela Ewing? Get that family album straight,
Okay,
boy.
I'm sorry, Victoria Principal. What was the other show that was a big show back then? Dallas?
Falcon Crest.
Yeah, Falcon Crest and Dynasty.
Dynasty.
That was another show. All right, so Michelle, should we give it another couple of episodes of Yellowstone before we bail out?
I think you're going to develop a thing for this Beth Dutton after Upper Deck.
Isn't
You know,
Michelle?
you know what? She's not doing it for me either. She's a little rough.
That's the thing about her.
Yeah, she's a little rough.
Friends have likened me to her, so you better be careful, buddy.
I mean, from what I've heard of Beth Dutton, and I don't know, and as
I don't even think she's an American. Isn't she a foreigner?
Well,
Yeah, I detected a little accent.
Yeah, where's she from?
let's get ready to deport
Andrew,
her.
turn your microphone on. Where's she from?
I believe she's a Brit.
Oh, she's a Brit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
she's not doing it for me. All right, Michelle. Maybe I should ask our listeners if I should give Yellowstone more time, if it just starts off slow or.
Would it help
Nobody,
if I branded you?
nobody says it sucks.
Yeah, Michelle says she wants to brand me. She wants to give me the Yellowstone brand.
Yeah, that's a funny
She wants to give
visual.
me the Schnitt Ranch brand.
That's what you want. What would that brand look like?
All right. All right.
All
Bye.
right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. All right. You know what? I'll grab a call or two here. Should I bail after episode 1, season 1 of Yellowstone? It might be a case of overhyping. And you know this happens. All right, give me a buzz. I'll take a couple of calls here. Should we keep watching Yellowstone? We're late to the party. We just started on Saturday night, and I just wasn't blown away. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. So I'm just curious. Are you one that says, oh, my God, season 1, episode 1 was fantastic. It was great. What's the matter with you? Or is it one of these things where just give it a couple of episodes? Because there have been numerous shows that took me a little bit to get into them.
Starts a little slow, has to build the story, has to build the plot line.
I know there are a handful of them, and I just can't think of any off the top of my head. But I'd love to hear from listeners right now. 800-990-1047. Hey, Andrew, I'm going to take 2 calls maybe. I'm not turning. I got too much to do.
I mean, Breaking Bad was like that. The first couple episodes were a little slow. Had to build a story of him being a teacher, him getting
You
sick.
know what? Maybe not Breaking Bad for me. Better Call Saul started slow.
Okay.
That had like 2 slow whole seasons, and then it was like, oh man, yow. All right, let me grab Frank in Tampa. All right, just a few calls on this, on whether Michelle and I should continue watching Yellowstone or just bail. But what I was saying was, you get the hype train going, and sometimes in life, and we've all experienced this, is the hype is so great over a certain period of time that when you finally experience something or you do it, you're like, it's kind of a letdown. And maybe that's, I've heard so much hype on Yellowstone that the expectation level was off the charts ridiculously high that it didn't quite push the buttons. All right, Frank in Tampa. Frank, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, good morning.
Yeah, Frank.
Hey, good morning. Don't give up on it. Good morning, everybody. Don't give up on it because it's an amazing show. It really is.
All right, but what about my thought of the first episode not being great? Do you agree with?
You're absolutely right. Yes, absolutely. The first one is a little slow, but it gets really good as it goes on, and it just keeps getting better.
All right, Frank, thank you. Let me get Detective J. Detective J, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, good morning, MJ. Good morning, everyone.
Oh, you're the retired Tampa PD detective, right?
I am.
Gotcha.
Yes.
All right, well, hey, thanks.
I love it. Hey, I love it, and I watched this from day one, and I just want to give you a phrase. Take them to the train station. You're going to learn what that phrase means while you're watching, and you're going to love it.
Take him to the train station. Do you understand what I'm saying? All right, I'm intrigued, but am I right in saying that the first episode didn't blow me away, or?
Yeah. You are. No, you're right.
All right.
And you know what? I had to keep. There's going to be a lot of episodes like that, but then there's some episodes, especially towards the end, that are phenomenal. So I'm a big one on saying, yeah, stick with it. I think Taylor Sheridan had his ups and downs, but honestly, when Kevin Costner's not there anymore, in the end, it's pretty good.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Detective J.
Okay.
Yeah, a long-time Tampa PD detective, retired now, calls the show
All right,
occasionally.
listen, give it a couple more episodes.
All
man.
right.
Baby
Listen, I
step
just thought I'd point it out. Let's get into the OCD thing.
Let's.
And Fester brought this up. Michelle and I were talking about this. I'm sure everyone was talking about this. First of all, condolences to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The wild card hopes were dashed last night. 23-20 loss to the Washington Commanders, formerly the Redskins. And again, I saw a bunch of Redskins fans cruising around the Tampa Bay area. I was out and about over the weekend, and a lot of Washington fans were in town, and I saw plenty of people wearing Washington Redskins gear, not Commanders. So, people still call them the Skins. People came down here and they're wearing Skins gear. They're not wearing Commanders gear. Anyway, so 23-20 loss. Can I make an observation?
No, absolutely not.
Before we talk about the OCD deal.
No observations.
Baker Mayfield.
Damn it.
With that tinted face mask, it looks like he has a freaking sunburn.
Or rosacea or something. It has like that red. He's always worn it. It has like that red tint to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but for whatever reason, it was like just prominent last night. I guess I haven't noticed it as much, but last night, I don't know whether it was the lighting, whatever, but I'm like, what's wrong with his face? Does he have a peanut allergy? What's going on with
He
him?
had some shellfish before the game. I'm feeling so hot.
All swollen. His throat is closing with a shellfish allergy. No, he's got that tinted acrylic eye and face protector, and it's got like a red tint, and it looked like he was sunburned.
Tell you what, man, that protector keeps a lot of fingers out of his face. So I'm glad he's wearing it.
No doubt about it. And then before we get into the OCD thing, couple of things. Local hometown guy Robin Zander did the national anthem.
That was cool.
Yeah, Cheap Trick's Robin Zander. We pulled a little bit of that. I'm a huge Cheap Trick fan. I'm a huge Robin Zander fan, and he lives, in Pinellas County. He lives right up the road here. and a little bit of national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars
All right.
through the perilous fight.
I thought he did a really good job.
Yeah,
I
agree.
Ramparts we watched
See,
were so gallant.
we go listen to the whole thing?
Yeah.
We go listen to the whole thing?
Well, I like Robin Zander.
I don't know. I want the, okay.
I like penises. Oh, and I want to get into the OCD thing
Yes.
with their kicker.
Zane Gonzalez.
Yeah. But first, can I point one other thing out?
Sure.
When they cut to Todd Bowles on the sideline, I want to change his last name to Todd Bowles, because why does it always look like he's like trying to squeeze one out? I mean, it's.
You saying Coach has like resting poop face?
It's like he's always constipated. Whenever they cut to a sideline shot of Todd Bowles, the head coach of the Bucs, it's like he needs some Metamucil or something to get things moving.
I gotta say,
it just looks like he always has a face like he's constipated.
I've never really thought of Coach's bathroom habits. However, I have to say, he's always even keeled on the sideline. You never see him too high. You never see him too low. Whatever happens, he's just literally no response.
And that fourth quarter handoff fumble, that was a
big mistake.
Big. That could have been the game right there. That could have been the whole damn game. And the Bucs have lost 4 games this season in the final play.
It seems like a lot.
Yeah. All right, so on to the OCD thing. The kicker for the Washington Commanders, this Gonzalez guy.
Zane Gonzalez. He played ball at Arizona State.
We're watching this thing. We're watching the game, and here he comes out in the final seconds of the game. You know, the Skins, the Commanders run the clock down, so there's just 3 seconds left for the kick, and he's walking out on the field. Do you have the audio? All right, start the audio from the beginning.
All right.
Go ahead and roll. Do we have audio on this?
Over there.
Right.
So Washington started the year with Brandon McManus as their kicker.
Start counting.
Moved on
1,
from him
2,
before camp opened, and since training camp, they've had 6 different kickers.
3,
the 6th
4,
is Gonzalez.
5, 6, 7,
The first
8,
time he's kicking in the
9,
NFL
10,
since 2021.
11,
These now 6 games
Hold on.
for Washington.
12,
He's got a chance
13,
to get the Commanders
14,
15, 16, and then
16.
finally the helmet goes on. He rubs his hair 16 freaking times.
He's walking onto the field, takes his helmet off just to rub his head a bunch.
Then he puts the helmet back on, takes the helmet off, rubs his head again. Then he takes it off, rubs again, and puts it back on, rubs. The guy is rubbing his head, and I said to Michelle, my God, does this guy have some kind of OCD thing going on?
So here's the deal.
Well,
I don't know that NBC did this guy any favors, because I've watched a reasonable amount of football in my life.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen the kicker walk from the sideline to the line of scrimmage. That whole long walk. They're on him for like 30, 40 seconds.
Yeah, so I don't know if I've ever seen. Well, this is pivotal. This is the game. You know, obviously they had him on camera, but you're right. They did have the Washington kicker on screen for an inordinate amount of time.
They didn't cut to the coach. They didn't cut to the quarterback. They didn't cut to the fans.
We got to watch his whole display of him touching his hair, putting the helmet on 16 freaking times. And I was like, what is he, OCD? And then Michelle was yelling at me earlier this morning because Michelle found the story. Zane Gonzalez has long struggled in his battle with OCD since he was a freshman at Arizona State. He has been public about coping with it. Tonight, the world was introduced to the tick of him constantly fixing his hair. All that matters is the doink that sends the Commanders forward. Anyway, so
Listen, hey, good for Zane. Congratulations. He hit 3 field goals yesterday.
I'm not congratulating the frickin' Redskins, the Commanders.
You do. They won. They didn't cheat. They won. Congratulations, guys. Big deal. Attaboy.
Yeah,
What do you say?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, be nice to the Commanders after they beat the Bucs.
It's just a football game. A long time ago, I came to the realization, it doesn't matter what the Bucs do. My life doesn't change at all.
All right, I'm just curious. So we watched this guy full national television on NBC last night. We watched this guy's OCD tick of him rubbing his head, rubbing the hair 16 times. I was just curious. Should we go to phones and ask our listeners, do you have any kind of nutty OCD tick? Do you have anything that you do repetitively, something that, people are like, what are you doing? Listen, be honest with us. Tell us your story. What is your tick? If you have obsessive compulsive disorder, if you've got some OCD, what do you do repetitively? What do you keep doing? What is like an OCD process that you can't continue until you do X? So if you have any kind of OCD story you want to share on something that you do similar to the kicker for the Commanders, I'd love to hear it. And we know that people have these tics or these OCD actions, and I mean, I gotta believe there are some listeners out there with some really interesting things that they have to do and they can't help themselves. All right, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. If you would like to share your tick, or maybe you know somebody, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a relative. What can you tell us about your tick or somebody else's OCD action? 800, look at the phones, they're ringing already. 800-990-1047. Love to hear your story.
I feel nervous for him walking out there to kick that field goal.
The guy was making me nervous.
Yeah,
I'm like,
right?
what is he doing? And then I said to Michelle last night, man, there's got to be some kind of OCD thing. It's got to be some kind of, I don't know, good luck thing. And it turns out that I didn't know this until Michelle dug up the story, that he has severe OCD. All right, phones, every single line is ringing. And let me put some of these on hold and help Andrew out. And I'm putting like 18 lines on hold.
Every line's buzzing in.
All right, bring up the screener. Alex in Palm Harbor is up first. Alex, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi.
Yes, hey, morning, Alex. Go ahead.
So sometimes I count in my head repetitively. Usually it's from 1 to 4. And it happens a lot of the time throughout the day.
And Alex, what causes this? What prompts you to have to count? Is there something that you have to count before you do an action?
I don't think so. I think it mostly happens some of the time when I'm stressed out.
So if something stressful is happening, do you just in your head say 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4?
Or is it slower? 1, 2, 3. How do you do it?
Usually faster.
Wow. Alex, how old are you?
I'm 12.
All right.
Listen,
Alex, when did this start? When did you recognize you started counting to 4 in your head all the time?
When I was about 10 years old.
Okay. And is that the only thing?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it doesn't sound too bad. Alex, thanks for calling. I appreciate it. Thanks for listening.
I mean, at least Alex is it's quiet. It's not visual like Zane's, where everybody sees him rubbing his head till he works a bald spot in there.
Alex is not yelling 1, 2, 3, 4. You know,
she's not shouting.
Should be good at band. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, John in Tampa. John, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Hey.
Yeah, so it's not like a tick that I necessarily have to do in order to do something, but it's just something that I find myself doing. My fiance is always telling me stop, and my friends are always saying something, but I'm always like wiping my face, like from forehead down to my chin.
Oh, I've seen that. Yes.
Yes, and I'll just keep going and keep going.
And there's nothing on it. Your face is not wet. You don't have crumbs on your face. You just keep doing a wiping motion from the top to the bottom.
Yes.
I've seen people do that.
Across the room, and he'll mimic me, and he'll do it back, and he'll just run his face. I'll be like, man, get out of here.
John, how old are you now?
24.
How old?
24.
All right, 24 years old. And how long you been doing that?
Probably since I've been like 14.
Wow.
Yeah, just
And
rub the whole face.
Can you think of what was the cause? What started that at 14?
My fiance asks me all the time what starts it, and I think to myself, and I say, I don't know. And then
Wow.
once my face is wet, I definitely can't stop. I just keep going.
That's interesting. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. Brian in St. Pete, we're talking about OCD actions and things that you do. What's your tick? After seeing the kicker for the Skins last night, the Commanders rub his hair like 16 times. Helmet on, rubs his hair. Helmet off, rubs his hair. Brian, you're on. Go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Yeah, mine has to do, I don't rub the hair. I don't have much hair to rub on top. But anyway, mine is basically locking doors, security. I have an issue with, I have to make sure doors are locked at the house. You know, I'm always double-checking the doors, triple-checking them.
So you'll double-check, triple-check, walk away, and then still say, oh, my God, I better check the door and go back again?
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. I catch myself going back, and I'm even wondering to myself, what am I doing? I know it's locked, you know, but it's just something, I guess, deep inside the brain. Somewhere's rewired at some point, and I can't figure it out.
It's like Monk thinking he left the stove on all the time or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How many times do you check your locks before you go to bed?
Yeah, probably at least 5 times. Yeah.
Seems high.
Yeah.
Brian, just out of curiosity, how old are you?
53.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had 2 young callers. We had a 12-year-old and a 24-year-old up first. All right, Brian, I wish you the best.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, no problem. Yep, thank you. Have a good one, everybody.
All right. And I was going to say that if he has the same fear with his garage door, he can call Banco and he can get the LiftMaster where you have the app and you can always see if your garage door is open or closed.
You could open it, you could close it, you could lock it.
Yeah.
You could arm it. Yeah. You can do everything off that
They
app.
installed those LiftMasters at my house. I love Banco. And I can check my app. You know, I'm going to work. You know, I'm sitting at a traffic light on 4th Street. I'm like, oh, man, did I close the garage this morning? I can look at my app. Oh, I did. Good. And if I left it open, I just hit the button on the app and closed my garage. All right, Jamie in Tarpon Springs. Jamie, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning.
Jamie, we're great. Do you have an OCD tick?
Okay, so it's not really a tick. I don't have an official diagnosis, but I was told by a doctor it's called obsessive compulsive personality disorder, which is a little bit different.
Right.
I don't have to do a certain thing, like flip a light switch on and off when I sneeze or anything like that, but I compulsively organize things. Like, things have to be in a certain place. If people don't put them back, it really, like, upsets me and freaks me out. And I count when I count my movements. So, like, opening a cabinet, like 1, 2, 3, like, it's just something that goes on in my head.
Yep.
And I was told that is an obsessive compulsive tendency.
Yeah, sounds like it. And has it gotten in the way of anything, or you're able to cope and manage?
It drives my family crazy, and it causes some, like, rifts between us, because I'm like, why can't you just put things back where they go? It's not hard. Like, the cups go here, they go in a certain order, they go in a certain spot, and I have little kids, so they just stick things wherever, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to kill you.
Well, thank you for sharing. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. Have a good day.
Thanks, Jamie. Sam in Oldsmar. Sam, you're on every single line, by the way, is jammed.
It's not stopping. Every line. As soon as one drops, it fills right back in.
I'm going to finish up. I'm going to do, let's see, Sam, Leah. I've got Alex, I have an anonymous. I have a Lori. And then I'm probably going to stop because these will go all day. Sam in Oldsmar, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
How you doing, guys? Good morning.
Hey.
I was laughing out loud at the previous caller about the locks because it's kind of a similar thing. Is I have to touch every light switch in the house before I leave, and I've even gotten so bad to where I've gotten in the car in the driveway and had gotten back out of the car, opened the garage, go back in the house because I didn't remember if I touched a certain light switch before I left.
And what is the reason for touching? What do you think it does?
I think a long time ago when I was younger, I saw a light switch in the house that was in the middle of being on and off, and I was always afraid that it would cause some kind of spark.
Oh, that it would short out and burn the house down.
Right. So I always was very cautious when I was little. I'm 44 now, and I've been doing it for almost 30 years. I have to be the last one out of the house, and I have to make sure every light switch is down before we leave.
Wow. Sam, thanks for the story. Appreciate you listening.
Welcome, buddy.
All right, Leah in Tampa. Leah, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hi.
Hey, Leah, what's your story?
Mine's also similar to the locks. For me, I have to lock my car 3 times before I go anywhere.
3 times?
It can't be... Go ahead.
No, on your clicker? Like you just toot the horn 3 times?
Yeah, I have to do it 3 times. I can't do it 2 times. I can't do it 4 times. One time I did it 4 times, and I had to unlock my car and go back in.
And start again.
Just so I could lock it 3 times.
Wow. And Leah, how old are you?
I'm 19.
And when did this start? Just when you started driving, or did this happen when you were younger before a driver's license with your family's cars?
No, well, it might have happened before, but I just started noticing it when I got my car.
Wow. And, I mean, do you think it gets in the way of your daily activities, or would you like to stop doing it, or it doesn't really bother you much?
It doesn't bother me much. If I'm, late for work, it kind of gets in the way because I have to, go back and lock it.
But and then if you make a mistake, then you got to start all over again. Wow.
Yeah.
You got to catch a plane or something. That could you're stuck in the you're in the airport parking garage. You missed your damn flight. Anything else, or really just that?
It's really just that.
All right, Leah. Thank you for. I appreciate you listening to the show.
Thank you.
Spread the word, MJ Morning Show. Now, great demographic spread here. Another Alex in Polk County. Alex, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Yeah, mine is anytime we go out to eat, I have to make sure, before we leave, I have to make sure all the plates are stacked up, all the silverware, all the trash.
Wait a minute. At a restaurant, you're bussing the table before you leave?
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
If somebody takes, if they come over and say, "Are you done with this plate?" I ask them, I said, "Can you leave it?" I just have an issue with, if they take it beforehand, I will have a breakdown.
Wow.
Okay, what's a breakdown?
I will, sit there and start shaking, rocking, because that thing wasn't done.
Hold on. You'll start, rocking like Rain Man?
Yeah, I'll just sit there and then my wife will sit there and have to calm me down.
Oh, wow.
So then we can walk out.
Where's the last restaurant this happened? You're out in Polk County. Where did it happen?
It was at Chili's out on 92 in Urbandale.
Wow.
I mean, you sound like a nice guy, but I never want to go to lunch with you.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. But I'll make sure you stack the plates. Hey, Alex, thanks for sharing. Appreciate it. All right, 2 more. Anonymous in Tampa. Anonymous, MJ Morning Show. You're on.
Hi, good morning, MJ. How are you?
Doing well. Go ahead.
So this is a story with me and my twin sister. I'm a Gen Xer, so I'm 50 years old now, and I was about 12 years old, and we went to Puerto Rico on vacation, and I saw her counting and doing things that I did. I said, wait a minute. I said, I do the same thing. So we had each other to help, try to figure out what this thing was. Well, it wasn't until about 1988, 1989, I was watching a show with Oprah. And she had a show, and I had a panel of people with doing these weird things. And I said, oh, my God, we do the same thing. And it wasn't until then that we realized, hey, it actually has a name. It's called OCD.
Yeah.
So with that, it helped a lot. We had it really bad from counting things. If we didn't count things and it didn't land on a good number, we felt like something bad was going to happen to our family.
Man, like the family was going to be in a plane crash or something?
What's a good
Something
what's
like
a good
we were
number?
going to blow up or something. Like we
Wow.
would open and close the doors 100 times, turn on and off the lights. It was obsessive. Every little thing that we touched had to end on a good number.
Yeah, what was your good number?
It had to be an even number.
What was the worst number?
Yeah.
like 88 times.
No. What
Sometimes-
was the worst number? Like it sounds like an odd number. What was the number you hated?
6.
Well, that's an even
That's
number.
an even number. Like if it landed on 17, is that a
But
bad
because
number?
it was evil.
6
is an evil number.
Oh, because
So-
of the the whole 666 thing.
So even
Yes,
even
the whole
numbers
666.
except for 666 or 666.
So I would pray profusely to, hey, God, help me overcome this thing. I don't know what something's wrong with
All right,
me.
so where are you now? Did you overcome it?
Well, I've overcame it for the most part. My sister, not so much. Let's say if she touches my left side, she'll call me back, and she has to touch my right side. So every now and then, it has to be the right side. It can't be the left
Oh,
side.
man. All right, Anonymous, thanks for the call. Have a great day.
Hey, you too.
All right,
Bye-bye.
last call. Lori is in St. Pete. Lori, MJ Morning Show, you're up.
Hey, MJ, how are you?
Hey, Lori, we're great. Go ahead.
A couple years ago, I went on some depression medication and I started having a facial tic, and it's not gone away, even though they took me off the medicine. So I'm constantly smacking my lips or playing with my tongue or something constantly, and it's just very embarrassing at work.
But that's like medically related. It's not like just an internal mental compulsive repetitive action or tic. This is actually a physical tic that you think was brought upon by the medication.
Right, exactly. But I don't know how to get rid of it.
Can they give you another medication to get rid of the tic that was brought on by the other medication? How about Sky Rizzy? I see commercials
Yeah.
for that. Maybe
I'm
maybe
not sure what it does, but the commercials seem fun. So, Lori, does it exacerbate itself with like you being nervous or anxious or something?
Oh, if I'm angry, it really gets bad. So with my husband and we're arguing, it's really
wow.
bad. And
you know
he'll
what-
say, "Yeah, look at your face. Look at your face."
You know what might take care of it?
What?
Yeah, maybe some Ozempic.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe some Ozempic. Did you just say?
Yeah. I'll try that.
Hold on. Just stop the music. Stop the
I'm
music.
sorry, what?
Did Lori just...
Hey, this is the first time I've called you, and I've called you, but I've never talked to you. So I'm really glad to have gotten a hold of you.
No, it's great to have you in. Yes.
Lori, did you just owe Jesus MJ when he played the Ozempic jingle?
I think so.
Okay, just check. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
All right, Lori, I wish you the best. Good luck, okay?
Thank you.
That's
Thanks,
funny.
hon. Bye-bye.
Oh, my God. How many times would she smack her face if she had to kick that field goal?
I had something odd happen in the middle of the night. Oh, you know who's going to join us in about 5 minutes?
Who?
Brian Stern from Gray Bull Rescue. He and his,
Is he in town?
No.
He's over there.
He and his team are in Los Angeles helping rescue people affected by the fires.
Wow.
Yeah. So Gray Bull Rescue, local Tampa Bay organization, which goes worldwide to rescue Americans and help them out. They're now in L.A. for the wildfire, so we'll speak to him in a few minutes. So listen to this. This is really strange. And I don't know, somebody I think was trying to get into something of mine, and I don't know what the hell it is. So I got at 2:50 this morning, I got a text for a verification with a verification code. So you know when you have like the two-factor authentication,
Yeah.
like you're logging into something, whether it's a bank account or whatever, and then you have to get the code that's texted to
We're going
your
to send you a 6-digit code.
to your known cell phone,
Sure.
and it's just like a two-factor authentication. So I am fast asleep at 2:50 this morning. I am fast asleep, and I get a text. Your Plaid verification code is, and then it's 6 digits. Do not share it with anyone. Plaid will never call you to ask for this code. First of all,
Plaid?
I don't know what the hell Plaid is.
Have you looked it up?
You know what? Let me tell you what I did. I did look. So when the text came in, you know, it came in from one of those text numbers where it's like, you know, the
5-digit
it's
code
like
or something.
exactly. So it came in from a text thing, and then I noticed that I did get a Plaid verification code back in October of 2023, and then I got one last June 13th. But I don't know what I got these for, but it seems if I got a verification code from Plaid, which I think is some kind of a...
It looks like a third-party verification service.
Yeah, for the finance community.
Yeah, Coinbase, Cash App, Affirm.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell's going on here, but what it seems to tell me is that somebody hacked into one of my accounts somewhere, but they needed the verification code, and of course the number on file is my cell phone. Is there anyone listening that has any insight for me? Does anyone in the tech world, any IT folks, anyone in finance? Does anyone have any thoughts on me getting a Plaid 2-factor authentication code while I'm fast asleep at 2:50 this morning? Does anyone have any insight? And I'm trying to figure, I can't ascertain what I have, which account uses Plaid for verification. So I quickly went to my various accounts, and all the money's there.
Yeah, I'm looking at Plaid's website.
Yeah.
They work with Citibank. They work with SoFi, Shopify, Chime, Acorns, a lot of online accounts. Trust Plaid as their verification
all right,
team.
folks, anyone that knows, am I right that somebody was trying to hack into one of my accounts, and that's why I got the verification code? And if it went to... What were they thinking? If they needed a code, wouldn't they know that? And, next thing is, oh, my God, I hope they can't hack into my text. All right, look at the phones. Phones are ringing on this already. Call me up. I mean, this is kind of freaking me out. I'm like, what the hell's going on? All right, listen, I'm not, debilitated freaking out. But I'm like, I've got a on a 1 to 10 scale of concern, this is a 6, all right? I said 6. Oh, I just freaked that listener out.
Oh, no.
Son of a bitch.
It's an evil number.
She just drove off the freaking road.
Every even number is okay.
The 6 lady, she just drove off into a ditch.
Except for 6.
All right, 800-990-1047. Maybe there was a glitch last night. Did anyone get a Plaid verification code in the middle of the night? And again, I'm racking my brain. Which of my logins or what am I subscribed to or what accounts do I have that use Plaid? I can't remember why I have 2 other previous ones. And I don't know if those were something I requested or if those just popped in again. It's a kind of phishing scam. All right, if anyone knows, buzz me up. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. And the way the phones are going here, a lot of people, every freaking line is ringing right now on my concern. Tammy's in Wesley Chapel. Tammy, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
So I know what that is. It is either Google Pay, Samsung Pay, or Google Wallet, because I get it when I tried to set up my Samsung Watch, and when you add credit cards, it's called Plaid.
But I didn't do anything.
Yeah, Plaid's the verification service.
Somebody's trying to probably, either add or use your Google Pay or your Wallet Pay, or I don't know if you have that, but I know that
I do have. Hold on a sec. I do have Google Pay, and I did use Google Pay for a $12 purchase at Publix yesterday, where I just tapped my phone to the reader.
That's what it has to do with.
Well, wait a minute. But I was at Publix
hours earlier.
I was at Publix at 4:00 yesterday afternoon, and this came in at 2:50 in the morning.
10-hour difference.
Well, that's why I don't know if someone. I don't know if someone can hack into that. I just know that when I at my Samsung Watch or my phone to add a credit card,
to add the to the wallet or whatever. All right,
Right.
Tammy, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. I want to, because I got Grable calling in a second here. Wendy in Oklahoma. Wendy, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, MJ. I get those all the time. It sounds more like the phishing ones I get, because somebody's just trying to get you to verify a code that you don't have, and a code for something so that they can get your information. Because I get them all the time. I get texts like, oh, this is from Amazon. This is from McAfee. And
Yeah.
I know I haven't ordered from Amazon. I know I haven't ordered from.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what activated this. What instigated me to get this at 2:50 in the morning?
It doesn't take much to activate it. Somebody's just screwing with your account. Somebody's trying to do something with one of your accounts.
Yeah, I got to figure out, do I have to change my Google password or something?
I mean, they didn't get too far.
Honestly,
Well, they had to get in somewhere.
yeah, I know, but since you didn't accept the code and
Yeah.
since you didn't enter the code anywhere, it shouldn't do anything. And if your accounts aren't being affected, definitely. But this means definitely keep an eye on your accounts, keep an eye on your credit score.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it, Wendy. Again, I'm trying to figure out what is it. That's what's kind of freaking me out is what did they try to get into that then activated me getting the verification code text. Vladimir is in Land O' Lakes. Hey, tell Gray Bull, tell Brian I'll be right there. Vladimir, MJ Morning Show, you're up.
Good morning, MJ. You are entirely right. What you did, it's somebody. Something happened to me recently, but I'm the one that initiated. I have a Rocket Money.
Yep.
And I had to connect my PayPal to the Rocket Money app, right? So what they did, I logged into it. It took it over, played, asked me a couple security questions, then they connected it. Probably what initiated on your end is probably somebody that has your phone number and your account. At least has the phone number to it.
Yep.
No, sorry, he doesn't have the phone number. He was trying to do something on Played, and Play initiated and called you, and then all you had to do is just do nothing because then it's
Because then they won't get in, correct?
gonna happen. But what you should do
Yep.
is make sure, like that other lady said, keep an eye on all your accounts, sir.
That's what I'll do. Vladimir, thank you. All right, quickly, David in Tampa. David, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, good morning, everybody. So I'm a tech expert with a cell phone company.
Yep.
I get this call probably 100 times a day.
All right, so what is it? Help me out here.
So it's a short code is what the text is called, those 5-digit numbers. It's a short code. I would recommend changing every password that you have. I know it's going to be kind of a pain, but I would recommend doing that. On top of that, any type of app or account that you use that doesn't have two-factor authentication, I would set that up because that's probably your saving grace that could have prevented an intrusion. Whether this was somebody, doing a forgot password and trying to, play games with you, or if this was somebody that was actually trying to create an intrusion. But I would also call your cell phone provider and have them, reach out and see how many short codes were actually sent to you, how many were successful, or how many of them failed as well.
All right.
That could be an indicator it's just repetitive.
All right, that is good information. Thank you, David. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, it's just kind of, weird. It's, again, I'm not on a freak out factor of 10, but, it's like, 5 or 6, like what's going on here? All right, 8:35 at the MJ Morning Show, and I want to go live to Los Angeles right now, and Brian Stern, who is the founder, the CEO of Gray Bull Rescue, the international rescue organization that rescues and helps Americans, whether it's stateside here in the country, whether it's in the Middle East or wherever. Brian, welcome back to the MJ Morning Show.
Hey, MJ, how are you?
We're doing well. All right, so you've been texting me the last couple of days, and on Friday you texted me that you were getting ready to send a team to Los Angeles to help with the wildfires and evacuations. So you're on the ground in L.A. What's going on, and what are you guys doing?
Yeah, it's a mess. The team's been here for we're on day 5 or 6. I got here a little bit late. I came out of Syria, working the Austin Tice hostage case. So I've been all over the world this week.
Yep.
The devastation here is, the only word that I can think of is total. We've done ops all over the world, right? As you know, right? Ukraine, Afghanistan, Lebanon, Gaza, all over the place. The fires in Maui we did. So this is not our first fire that we've worked. The hurricanes, as you know, the devastation here is the only place that I've ever seen this bad is Ukraine, where it looks like that. It is terrible.
When I saw the aerial shots, when they first came out last week, the aerial shots of Pacific Palisades, right above the PCH, right off of Sunset, when I saw, and I lived in L.A. for a couple of years, so I know the area very well. And, I've driven through the streets in the Palisades because I had friends there. I had a former agent that lived in the Palisades. And, streets that I drove on and past houses many times, they're gone. I mean, what I said to my wife, Michelle, is, my God, it looks like aerial shots of Hiroshima after we dropped the nuke in August of 45.
It is the perfect metaphor. It is the perfect metaphor. What's on the coastal side, so we're working the Palisades fire. What's interesting is because of the winds, houses burned down, and the winds were terrible. So literally, the winds blew the ash. So there's not even, in some cases, there's not even a structure. It was erased from the map. It's as if there's not even a burned out structure. When Mike Murphy's house burned down during the hurricane, the structure of the house was large. Was there the fingers of the house.
Yeah, my wife asked me about this, so we're watching the news coverage just for the last week plus here, and my wife asked me about it, and it's like, but there are no walls standing. And, my best guess there is that a lot of these houses, it's wood frame, because if you look, sometimes you'll see like masonry. So if they're
a chimney or something
well,
still
the masonry survives, so the chimney survives. Or there was one shot on TV where the houses were gone, and if you looked in the background, you could see like a wall standing, and then you could see that it was like a concrete block wall. So in some cases, those survive, the masonry or the concrete block or the brick, but the homes that are made out of wood frame or that type of construction, that stuff is just incinerated, Brian.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. There's a lot of houses that were pre-fire code, just like us. We see this in Tampa where the pre-Hurricane Andrew homes get crushed, and the ones that are made recently, they tend to do better from a building code perspective. That's the same is true here. It's the same stuff, but it's really, really, really the size of this damage is truly remarkable.
Well, we're hearing, and I have some stats at this point, Brian. Officials are saying it's over 60 square miles of destruction. Over 12,000 structures have been destroyed, completely burned. And sadly, we're hearing that 24 people are confirmed dead. They expect that number to go way up. Has your team affected any actual rescues?
We've been supporting the fire department out here, LA County Fire, LA City Fire, and Cal Fire, who, by the way, are I have no words for what they've been doing. The terrain out here is absolutely horrible. It's what these guys are doing is unbelievable. We've been supporting any way we can. We've been doing a lot of logistics stuff. We've been doing a lot of humanitarian drops, that kind of thing.
Yep.
But the reality is where a lot to stop this thing. You need way more resources that they don't have, and they're coming in, but it's a little bit late. The winds are picking up again today, so we're expecting a large expansion. One of the biggest problems we have out here is water.
Yep.
All the water is contaminated, so you can't drink anything out here.
Wow.
So water.
Well, Brian, also, you look at the resources, and 1,300 plus fire engines are working these fires, 84 aircraft, over 14,000 personnel are working on these, fires in the Los Angeles area. And there were 5 fires that were burning. I think they have 1 under control. I mean, like the Palisades fire, did I see it's like 13%? I mean, it's still ridiculous. So, Brian, my question for you also is, when you guys show up, does the LA County Fire Department, Cal Fire, the Highway Patrol, law enforcement, do they know who you are and they accept you? How does that work? How do you make contact to be able to integrate and not get kicked out?
Yeah, it depends. We have a really good reputation. So our reputation precedes us. We have a really good network, which is good. And again, we solve problems. We're an additional resource, and we're good at what we do. there sometimes, at first contact, it's sometimes, who are you, what are you, and then very quickly, because we all have the same goals. And I'll give you a good example. Yesterday, a friend of mine from LA County Fire. There's a real problem with communications here because all the cell phone towers have been flattened and internet doesn't work and things don't work.
Yep.
Okay, fine. One of the things they had asked for here was Starlink and satellite communications. That was cut off their budget by some accountant somewhere last budget cycle. Okay, so a friend of ours says, hey, what can you do for me? Kind of a thing. Just exactly the right question. That's the question that we like to hear as Grable, right? What can we do for you? Or what can I do for them? They say Starlinks. So we go out, we talk to one of our donors, Premium Utility Contractor, great company that we partner with all the time. They go out and they source a whole bunch of Starlinks. But we did a Mayday call to our network. What happens? We were able to deliver 10 Starlinks, the Starlink Minis, with the good cables and their mobile and all the whole kit. And we're able to get that to the fire department.
Hey, Brian, where the hell is Elon Musk? Why can't Elon Musk, who's worth $500 billion or whatever the hell the crazy number is this week, why can't he, have his team bring hundreds of Starlinks to...
Well, it's funny that you ask, MJ. Well, what happens is that got to Elon Musk, and he showed up last night and gave out hundreds of Starlink minis to the LA County Fire guys and LA Sheriff Department and all the guys that are working in the mountains.
Fantastic.
Last night.
All right. Wow.
So my point is the private sector is always going to work faster than the government, and that's where Grable really comes in, and that's where these guys really appreciate us, is that we're able to move fast. Where they have to fill out a form in triplicate, we don't have that problem. You ask, I can go source it. We're donor funded, so we need the public support to help us help them. And that's a little uncomfortable, but the reality is people are dying. And
Brian, do me a favor. Give out the information if our listeners want to donate. And again, folks, Grable is based right here. Their office is at Rocky Point, right near the Courtney Campbell. They're based here in Tampa Bay, and they help Americans worldwide, whether it's rescuing hostages, ripping somebody out of a Russian detention because they were busted in Ukraine, or rescuing hostages from the Gaza, wherever. So, Brian, how do people help your organization?
Best way you can help is go to grablerescue.org. There's a little button that says donate. Please help. We need stuff. This is expensive stuff. Fire equipment costs money. Radios, Starlinks, all this stuff costs money. We love doing the work. We're good at what we do. The people need it, but it doesn't work without public support. It just doesn't. And that's just the way it is. We need help. grablerescue.org.
graybullrescue.org. That's graybullrescue.org. Whatever you can give, $1, $5, $10, $25, whatever. graybullrescue.org. Brian, when you get back, we'll have you back in studio, okay, for an after action, okay?
Absolutely. Thanks so much, MJ. Talk to you.
Thanks, Brian. What an organization.
Wow.
I mean, this guy, can you imagine the frequent flyer miles he got? He's all over the place.
These guys are afraid of nothing.
And now they're on the ground assisting in L.A. Hey, speaking of L.A., I have a whole pile of, interesting angles on L.A., which I'll get to next hour. So, final hour, a little after 9 o'clock, I have just an interesting... We have a celebrity roundup.
Yeah, who lost their houses?
Yeah.
Whose houses aren't... I saw a video of Ashton Kutcher on the side of his house with a garden hose.
Yeah, it's really... homes that we thought might be destroyed for celebrities. We'll go over the list. And again, listen, I don't want to put too much emphasis on the celebrities, but that's the information we have. The fact is the bulk of the people that have lost homes are regular, just hardworking people. And it's just, it's unfathomable. With our hurricanes, we had people locally that had a couple of feet of water in the house, and you fix it. You take the drywall a couple of feet above the water line, and you put new floors down. I mean, these people have nothing. They're going back to these homes, and you've got the garage concrete floor that's left, and that's like it. It's like unbelievable. You might have a part of a chimney still standing. Everything is gone, incinerated.
A lot of times a hurricane rolls through in a couple of hours.
It's like home cremation.
Yeah, here everything's devastated, and you can see it coming toward your neighborhood.
Yeah, one thing I did want to mention here, though, is the Pacific Palisades fire now likely started because of fireworks on New Year's Eve. So I don't know whether...
Really?
Yes. The Palisades fire that has devastated Los Angeles and killed...
This has been burning for 12 days already?
At least 24 people may have been ignited from scorch marks left by an earlier inferno that was believed to have been caused by fireworks set off on New Year's Eve, according to a report. Now, I can't imagine that would be an organized fireworks event. All kinds of warnings about do not set off fireworks, careful, no outdoor fires, because, they've been so dry in and around Los Angeles County. So this sounds like some kind of backyard warrior that was just setting off fire. Can you imagine? And they know where it began. They know the area. So damn well they're going to investigate. How would you like to be the person that they finally pegged for setting off illegal fireworks and starting a fire that might have destroyed $50 billion in homes?
Oh, my God. What a nightmare.
Oh, my. That's it. Game over. Have a nice day. That's... when I saw that it could be fireworks, I was like, you got to be kidding me.
What about like the power lines? Wasn't like a bunch of faults where the lines were touching?
Yeah, that's...
I saw like the president or CEO of like one of the big California power company.
Yeah, Pacific, whatever it is.
Yeah, and he was saying how many faults there were and how many things were touching lines.
The Palisades fire could be fireworks. Other fires might be power line faults. So that's another possibility. You had 5 huge fires that were raging. So... that's where we are. It's so the LA pile, I'll get to that, and it's really some fascinating stuff, which we'll get to in just a bit. All right, shifting gears, completely different. I thought this was really interesting. I found a story about 21 famous people that once worked in the restaurant industry.
Oh.
Yeah, and a lot of them are fast food.
I remember Mariah Carey was like a server for Tommy Mottola, and like she dropped off her tape, and that was like her big break.
Yeah, well, she was working for a catering
company. Yeah.
So I think the story is Mariah Carey was working for a caterer, and they were doing some event, and she was part of the wait staff bringing out the salads and the entree and the bread and butter. And I guess she knew that Tommy Mottola was going to be at some event, and Mariah Carey gave him a cassette, a demo, and not only did she get signed and Mariah Carey became a huge star, she ended up marrying Tommy Mottola. They've been divorced for a while. All right, so this is kind of fun. I'm going to mention a celebrity name, and I want you to guess. No. I want you to guess, Fester, where they worked.
All right.
All right? Yeah. First one, Shania Twain.
Oh, and she...
Where do you think she worked?
Sounds like she worked like a Zaxby's or something, coming from the middle of Tennessee or something.
I don't think Zaxby's was around 40-something years ago.
Was it like a Wendy's or a Burger King?
Yeah, you're close, but not
McDonald's.
Yes, McDonald's.
How many of them are McDonald's?
Well, I have to go through the list here.
Oh, okay.
All right, so Shania Twain, she worked at McDonald's.
That's cool.
Isn't she Canadian? I think she worked at McDonald's in Canada.
Okay. I think they serve poutine at McDonald's in Canada. It's just French fries with gravy.
Do. Jennifer Hudson, who scored big on American Idol. Jennifer Hudson, big star these days.
Did she work at Olive Garden or something?
No.
Am I on the right track?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nope. You actually mentioned it earlier.
Burger King?
Yes. Jennifer Hudson. Can they get her to sing the damn jingles instead of that guy? Melts. I want these commercials to stop with that guy singing the songs that it sounds like he's making it up as he goes along. Let's get Jennifer Hudson to sing the Burger King commercials.
Do that.
Yeah. She said she used to sing at the drive-through window.
I bet she did.
She said, my first and only real job was working at Burger King. Jennifer Hudson.
Good for her.
All right. Nick Cannon.
Where did he work?
Nick Cannon worked at Wiener Schnitzel.
I would never have guessed that in a million
years. That's out in L.A.
Is that like a hamburger stand or
No,
a hot dog
Wiener,
stand?
no, it's hot dogs and
I don't
stuff.
know,
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah, Wiener Schnitzel, hot dogs, and Wiener Schnitzel. Interesting. They have their locations out in L.A. because I still live there. They have like the big A-frame roofs, like the old IHOPs. Remember those?
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of their. Amy Adams, actress Amy Adams. Do you know where she? Oh, Andrew knows. Andrew, how do you know that?
It's a big Amy Adams
How
fan.
do you know that she worked there?
Lucky guess.
What was your guess?
Yeah, go ahead and say what your guess was.
She worked at Hooters.
That is correct. All right, so how did you know that?
I think she worked there long enough to buy a car so she could get a real job or get to interview auditions.
What do you watch Entertainment Tonight 24/7? How do you know that?
Listen, he's president of the local fan club. You may not know that. But.
All right, Julia Roberts. Where'd she work? What food establishment?
Dairy Queen.
Oh, holy crap!
I'm just guessing.
No, but you're close. Because Dairy Queen's ice cream.
Okay, so what's another ice cream
Yeah,
place?
what's another ice cream place?
Baskin Robbins.
Yes. That's it.
Okay, I just guessed.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I can picture a young Julia Roberts at a Dairy Queen. That's why I guessed it.
Julia Roberts worked at a Baskin Robbins. When I was a kid, I always wanted to call it Bastard Robbins. But Baskin Robbins is correct. Oh, and I believe there was a story that she worked at like Foot Locker as well, or Athlete's Foot in Manhattan. Yeah, but before her big break, she worked there. All right, I got a couple other ones. Like I got Luke Skywalker, I got Eva Long, Madonna. All right, I'm not done yet. I'm going to carry this over. I don't want to get too late here. So when we get back, I'll finish up the list, and then some of the L.A. Celebrity stories and other incidents. Oh, do you know about Oreo the dog?
Yeah, I heard about. I saw the Oreo video.
Yeah, you gotta hear.
Amazing.
Yeah, folks, you gotta hear about Oreo the dog and the owner finding Oreo after the owner thinking that Oreo burned up in one of the LA fires. All right, hold on. Back in minutes. Got a loaded final 9 o'clock hour next. Don't move. MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Is Q105, 104.7 FM. It is 9:01. All right, let me finish up with the celebrity fast food or restaurant game. And, Fessy, you're doing fairly well on the game. All right, you ready?
I am. I'm excited.
And Mark Hamill, he's also part of the LA Fire pile, which we'll get to in just a bit. So, Mark Hamill, guess where he used to work before he got hired on to play Luke Skywalker in Star Wars?
I feel like he's like an Arby's guy.
Nope. Nope. He used to talk into a clown head at the drive-thru.
Oh, Jack in a Box?
Yes.
I've never been to a Jack in a Box.
Yeah. We used to
but I know they have the clown with the pointy nose, I think.
Yeah,
the round head.
We had a Jack in the... It's not there anymore, but we used to have a Jack in the Box right across from our studio in Los Angeles at Pirate Radio, KQLZ Los Angeles. The mothership has landed. Yeah, so we had a Jack in the Box right at the corner of Sunset and Cahuenga when I used to work at Pirate Radio. Used to venture across the street every once in a while. Yeah, once a month, grab a Jack in the Box burger.
He was already famous by the time you were there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because I was in L.A. 89, 90, 91. And, of course, Star Wars was, summer of 70...
Something. Late 70s, yeah.
Yeah, 76, 77 was Star Wars first one. So, Jack, Madonna. Folks, if you're just tuning in, and, I should have reset this, but before the break, I started going through a list of celebrities that worked at restaurants or fast food restaurants or that type of, service operation. And I just play a little game here. Where did the celebrity work? So I'm just finishing. I did like half the list. I got the second half.
Was she at McDonald's?
Madonna. Where did Madonna work?
You got to figure. It's got to be an old.
What did you just say?
I said McDonald's.
Nope, that's incorrect.
It's got to be a restaurant that's been around for a long time because she got famous like in the mid 80s.
Hold on, Andrew just blurted it out in my ear. Andrew, turn your microphone on. Andrew, the producer. How did you know that?
Because somebody just told me.
Who just told you?
A friend of ours, a regular caller.
Oh,
Okay.
all right. So Madonna worked. Go ahead and say it, Andrew.
She worked at Dunkin' Donuts. She got fired for squeezing jelly at a customer.
That's hysterical.
Allegedly, that's the story. She squirted jelly at a customer. So Madonna used to work at Dunkin' Donuts. Which, by the way, there are a couple of Dunkin' Donuts stories this morning. Lin-Manuel Miranda, the
guy from
Hamilton guy.
and
Yeah, Hamilton. Where
Broadway
did he
News.
work? You've said it 100 times.
McDonald's?
Yes.
I don't know.
All
I mean,
right,
McDonald's is my guess for every one of these until proven otherwise.
He was making $4.25 an hour at McDonald's, apparently. Eva Longoria. Where did Eva Longoria work?
Man, hopefully it's a place with like a hot uniform. She's not that young either. I don't know. Is it something like a Denny's or something?
Nope. Think pigtails.
Wendy's?
Yep. Yeah, she worked at. She learned that she had to fund her own quinceanera. How do you say it? Is that the
Quinceanera?
Quinceanera. Yeah, the 15-year-old celebration, right? Yeah. So she worked at Wendy's for 6 years.
16 years old.
Wow. No. Quinceanera is.
Is this 15?
Yeah, 15.
All right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never been invited to one. Although I'm looking forward to. I guess I'll never be invited to one now.
All right, Pharrell Williams. Where did he work?
Hardee's.
No, you said it 100 times.
McDonald's.
Yes.
McDonald's is my guess for all of them.
He worked at
If
McDonald's
it's McDonald's,
as well.
just tell me it's
Yeah.
McDonald's because I'm guessing that for all.
Gwen Stefani.
McDonald's.
No. No. Where did Gwen? You said this one earlier. No.
Arby's.
No.
Denny's.
DQ.
DQ.
Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gwen Stefani worked at Dairy Queen. Brad Pitt. Where did Brad Pitt work?
Red Lobster.
This is a very West Coast chain.
Oh.
So certainly California. I love this place. Oh man,
Is it like a burger flipping stand?
I will when I'm in Los Angeles and if I'm going my back way.
Del Taco.
Well, you're close.
What?
I've got a back way to LAX through the oil fields. I used to go my little shortcut, and that back way there was always a little. This place is right on a corner. Come on, chicken. Hold on, Andrew. Do you know? You know what?
I do because I read it online.
Oh, it's El Pollo Loco. I love El Pollo Loco.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would never have guessed.
The closest thing over here in Florida is going to be Pollo
Tropical?
Pollo Tropical, yes.
All right, that's cool.
Closest
That's a
thing.
good place.
Yep. Rachel McAdams. So Brad Pitt worked at El Pollo Loco. All right, so Rachel McAdams, where did she work?
McDonald's.
Yes. Kate Walsh.
McDonald's.
No, the other one.
Burger King.
Yes. All right. Megan Fox, where did she work?
McDonald's.
No.
All right, now it's opened up the field a little bit.
Megan Fox worked at a smoothie chain.
Like Smoothie King or
Close.
Tropical Cafe?
Yes. So Megan Fox worked at the Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right. Eva Mendes.
McDonald's.
No.
I don't know.
She worked at Hot Dog on a Stick.
I would never. Is that a real place?
It is. I think aren't they mostly in malls?
I've never seen one.
Oh yeah, I've seen hot dog. I'm trying to think of the last time I saw a hot dog on a stick.
I love Eva Mendes.
Yeah. And then Barack Obama. Where did Barack Obama work?
McDonald's.
No.
I never heard of President Obama working at a fast food place.
Yeah, as a teenager, Barack Obama worked at a Baskin Robbins in Honolulu.
I never knew that.
Yep. And then finally, Jennifer Aniston. Where did she work? This is not a chain. There were a couple of locations in New York. I think one still exists because I know it does because I passed by it on the way to LaGuardia. But there used to be one in Manhattan as well. You're not going to know it. It's called Jackson Hole. So
Jackson Hole. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, well, it's a New York thing.
Okay.
So there's a Jackson Hole. It's an old diner. It's like an old airline diner or something, and it's been Jackson Hole for decades and decades. Great burgers. If you're anywhere near LaGuardia Airport, and you would love to have, if you're near the Grand Central and LaGuardia, if you're anywhere near there, Jackson Hole is an awesome place. If your flight is delayed like 3-4 hours, stop at Jackson Hole. Get yourself a burger. They are amazing burgers. They used to have a Manhattan location, I think on the Upper East Side, or maybe it was Upper West, but they've been closed for some time. But that's where Jennifer Aniston used to work.
That's cool,
man.
man.
9:09 at the MJ Morning Show. Where's my L.A. pile? Yeah, what the hell did I do with it?
LA fire pile?
Yeah, a couple of things here. James Woods says that his house has survived. Remember we were talking about James Woods last week? So James Woods' house did survive. Bill Hader, actor from Saturday Night Live, then went on to star in Barry.
Yeah.
Great series. He helped news crews cover fires. So he was...
What, do you interview people?
Yeah. On Thursday morning, a team from LA's ABC 7, KABC, was out in the Pacific Palisades, and it was Bill Hader. His face was obscured by an air quality mask, and I guess he was, helping crews out or helping them talk to people. He was doing an interview. Turned out to be Bill Hader. Then we have Britney Spears. Britney Spears has evacuated her $7.4 million mansion, and she apparently drove 4 hours to a hotel.
Okay.
Now, there's another aspect of the L.A. fires that we're going to get to momentarily, and that's some of the gouging that's going on.
Well, the hotel prices anywhere in the west?
No,
southwest?
It's beyond that. I'll get to that in a second. Just hold that thought. Hold your horses there. So back to Mark Hamill. We just had Mark Hamill, the original Luke Skywalker. We had him on the fast food list, exactly. And now we hear Mark Hamill reveals that his Malibu home did survive the Palisades fire that destroyed his neighborhood. It was believed that Mark Hamill's home was burned to the ground. His home survived.
But everybody around him's burned down?
Star Wars actor, he's 73 years old. Is that unfreaking believable?
I mean, the movie's 50 years ago.
I know. Well, not
45,
quite.
45 years ago?
But close. No, more than that. It was 1970. I think it was summer 77 was Star Wars.
All right.
Right?
47 years ago, being so specific.
So he got good news. He finally saw an aerial photo. Only a few houses remain in his portion of Pacific Palisades, and his home is one of the homes that remains standing. And he said that it's amazing. And he says, my heart goes out to everyone who was not as fortunate.
I mean, that's a weird kind of survivor's guilt.
Yeah. Oh, can you imagine
Everybody
that?
in your block is burned down, and you're the only one living there. They don't have utilities any longer, right?
Yeah, you got powers out, internet. I mean, it's just infrastructure is burned to a crisp.
It's not like when there's a hurricane and some of the lines go down or some of the poles snap and the grid is gone.
It's gone. You got some of those high tension power lines rolling through the canyons, and they're just burned out, just gone. I mean, it's going to take. Listen,
it's going to take a long.
You look at the Pacific Palisades and the number of homes that are gone, the thousands of homes. I mean, I don't know if it recovers in 20 years. It's unfathomable. So Miley Cyrus, she had a fire. 6 years ago, Miley Cyrus's home burned down in Malibu, and Miley Cyrus says that her soul aches for L.A. fire victims.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miley.
Put out a statement on Instagram for those affected by the fires. And Miley knows what it's like to lose a home. 6 years ago, her home burned to the ground. Let's see. Just a bunch of, celebrity-related stuff, which, this is unbelievable. I saw a story that not in the immediate vicinity, but in Southern California, on social media, somebody captured some dip craps on the beach releasing those like candle balloons.
Like
The
those
la- the la-
lanterns,
the
those, like,
la- the la-
Asian-inspired
Yeah.
lanterns.
Yeah. Who the hell is sending up lantern balloons at this point?
Not a good thing
Not
to do
not
right
a
now.
good move. Yeah, a Southern California social media person caught a group of idiots launching lantern balloons with lit candles into the sky near a nature preserve in Southern California while these wildfires are raging. What are they thinking? I mean, I think you ought to smoke a cigarette right now because of what the heck's going on.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus lost her house. $15 million mansion.
Yeah, yep. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, of course, Elaine from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Lost her house. I think that's it with this. Spencer Pratt, Heidi Montag and Spencer Pratt. Their home was burned.
Right.
And listen to this. I don't know if I've formulated an opinion on this, but Spencer Pratt is asking fans to stream his wife Heidi Montag's 2010 album for income after their home was burned.
So these folks were on a show, right?
Yeah.
Like the OC or something like that.
Yeah.
And they made a lot of money quickly, and they pissed it away in no time. And they went from the penthouse to the outhouse pretty quickly.
Right, but Heidi Montag, she had a singing career and an album?
She had
I don't remember that.
In 2010, she was hot stuff.
Let's just throw you in a studio and just sing some crap.
And then she fell off, and I don't know what they do for income. I have no idea. It's not like you can tell what they do. They're not associated with any projects. If anything, they got married. They've been together. That's amazing. But they need the money as much as anybody.
All right, a couple of other things.
I donated to the Red Cross, and I put in parentheses for Heidi Montag.
Yeah, great.
Give us the Heidi.
All right, listen to this. This is terrible, terrible, terrible irony. A famous song from a famous band was written in a house in Los Angeles that is burned to the ground.
Oh, God. Is it, Come on, baby, light my fire.
Come on, baby, light my fire.
Oh, my God,
Yes.
that's the only fire song I can think of.
Yes.
It was either that or We Didn't Start the Fire. Those are my two fire go-tos.
No, you're right. You guessed it right off the bat.
Those are my only two fire songs.
Yeah, so, I'm on fire. That dirge by Bruce Springsteen. That's a dirge. It's like a funeral procession song. All right, so the home, this is insane.
Funeral procession song.
No, I mean, that Springsteen song, I'm on fire is a dirge.
That's a good insult.
All right, so listen to this. The home where the Doors guitarist Robbie Krieger penned Light My Fire was destroyed in the Palisades fire. So Krieger, a founding member of the Doors, wrote the lyrics to the classic in a living room of his parents' Pacific Palisades home in 1966. Yeah, on Alma Real Drive in Pacific Palisades. Totally destroyed, gone. The Alma Real Drive property, which has been owned by Claudio and Kathleen Boltanansky since 2000, is one of the thousands and thousands of homes. So, Light My Fire. The irony.
The band Talking Heads, they're a New York band.
Yeah.
So burning down the house was not written in California, most likely.
What else? There's a lot of people are incensed. Some of the rich in L.A. are like hiring private firefighters to protect their house. Listen, if you've got the money and you want to spend it, we're hearing that there are millionaires in L.A. where their homes could be under threat are hiring firefighters for $2,000 an hour.
I stand there with a garden hose for $2,000 an hour.
Yeah,
So it gets too close. I'm like, all right, you're on your own. You're on your own.
Yeah. Listen, I guess this doesn't bother. I mean, if
you got the money, you got the money.
And if you're not using city resources and you get the money, then that's your prerogative. If you want to hire a do you just go on the internet? Do you Google private firefighters? Where do you find private firefighters?
I didn't know that was a thing.
Do they have fire engines? Are they allowed to have sirens and lights?
I didn't know they had like boutique firefighters.
They probably have green flashing lights like mall security.
Yes, nobody gets out of their way.
They have fire engines with green flashing lights. The private firefighters. Wow. All right. What else? And then we have the looters. There have been a couple of dozen looter arrests, and this is really devious. There have been some looter arrests where the looters are dressed like firefighters.
That's awful.
Yeah. You know what? They ought to execute them on the spot.
All right. So
you know what? Shove a fire hose up their butt. You know, one that works, that actually has a water supply.
Right.
And just run that fire pressure right up. Give them a nice, cold and cleanse.
Okay. This is a terrible question.
Yeah.
What temperature does like jewelry melt and stuff?
It depends on the metal.
Like if a house burns down.
It depends on the metal. You know, you've got
metal things probably survive.
Right.
Diamonds survive.
Diamonds, well, yeah, diamonds should survive.
Jewels would survive.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm trying to think,
well, it depends. These fires raged and burned so hot, a lot of safes were melted. So I did see people find safes in the rubble of their house and go inside, and some of the jewelry was okay. But it depends on
the heat and the intensity of the fire.
It depends on the temperature of the fire and what the melting point of the metal is, and also what the fire rating on a safe is. But as far as they know, for instance, where metals melt. Like aluminum, steel, titanium has a high melt point. But like aluminum, I think melts at about 1,100 degrees.
It's pretty specific. Are you sure? But you're saying it like you know it. Like you got some Jeopardy knowledge over there.
Yeah, so
1,100 is pretty accurate.
Aluminum, let's see. I'm trying to find the list.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Aluminum is 1,220. So I was close. I said 1,100. All right, so aluminum melts at 1,220. Brass melts at 1,710. Copper melts at 1,983. Gold melts at 1,945 degrees.
That's a much hotter fire.
Yeah. Cast iron melts at 2,200. I know titanium has I believe, a really high melting
But
point.
now you start getting to like a blast furnace that they have like at a Pennsylvania, steel processing plant.
Yeah, titanium melts. Oh, yeah. Titanium melts at 3,038 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow.
That's, wow. But so they do it. Platinum melts at 3,218. Well, I didn't know. Wow. Silver melts at 1,762. So, depending on how hot that fire rages. All right, there are a couple of additional interesting LA angles we'll get to. The final chunk of the MJ Morning Show is next. I just got to go through I didn't get to Oreo. We got to get to Oreo the dog. You've got to hear the audio of Oreo's owner finding him after it was believed that Oreo was lost in the LA fires. And hang on, we'll get to all that next. And other stuff that's not even related. In the final chunk of the MJ Morning Show, minutes away here on Q105, 104.7 FM. A couple of additional L.A. fire stories, which really is an unbelievable story, including Oreo the dog. We'll get to those momentarily. First, though, did you see the dash cam video of the driver going the wrong way on 275? Holy schnit on wheels.
Unbelievable.
Oh, my God.
Where was he on 275?
275 southbound here in Pinellas. You know, I didn't see the exact, it was, so over here, it was 275 Pinellas, going the wrong way. Guy was arrested, driving I love the story from Channel 8. A man was arrested after allegedly driving the wrong way. No, there's no alleged.
There he is in the car.
He was driving the wrong way.
I see him.
The cars are headed southbound, and he's driving northbound. Nothing alleged here. Elena Papazian from Channel 8. There's nothing alleged here. This is where you don't have to use the word alleged. We have the video released by the FHP. He was driving the wrong way. The traffic is going southbound in the southbound lanes, and here comes headlights in the middle lane going northbound in the southbound side. So, not alleged.
This happened near mile marker 21, which is not far from Tropicana Field.
All right, holy crap. There's
a lot of curves in the interstate at that part.
Fox 13 has more information here. Is there audio on this?
I don't know. This is dash cam from, this is one of the Teslas that were involved in the accident. And you can see the interstate makes like a hook to the right and then a hook to the left around here.
Yep. And then here comes a car coming the wrong way.
This is awful.
This is unbelievable. Look at this. So they round the bend, and then the car right there. Look at, in the middle lane, unbelievable.
Oh,
and then the car tries to veer to the right lane and then gets nailed in the side as they're making the quick turn.
Barely any time to react.
Yeah. Drunk driver. The driver admitted to coming from a bar where he had consumed 2 shots of Don Julio in an hour.
Open the door to more home buyers?
An hour prior.
Commercials playing now.
I shut it off. I would guess that he did more than 2 shots of Don Julio.
Yeah. Rontonio Scott. Bad move, pal.
Yeah. The blood alcohol level was above the legal limit. Have you seen the actual blood alcohol numbers? So he was impaired. And he's going to be charged with DUI involving personal injury because he smashed into a car. 3 counts of DUI involving property damage.
He hit multiple cars.
Yeah, he did. DUI involving serious personal injury. Then this guy, Rontonio Scott, 49 years old. Rontonio Scott had a prior DUI conviction in 2018. So he didn't learn, did he?
No.
So one person in the Tesla, it was a Tesla SUV, suffered severe injuries, including a pelvic fracture, fracture to the femur, fracture to the ankle, and significant damage to the liver.
Jeez.
Also has to have surgery to remove his spleen. Oh, my God. And doctors are saying that the individual that was hurt inside the Tesla might have permanent injuries that could be problematic for them walking. I mean, you got to be kidding me. All because this guy is drunk and he's driving the wrong freaking way on 275. Rontonio Scott. I haven't heard how long he was driving the wrong way before the collision. But that is unfreaking believable.
Yeah, absolutely terrible.
The incident happened over a week ago. So the situation occurred on January 5th, but we're just seeing the dash cam. The FHP released the dash cam from the Tesla.
It's important that they release this dash cam.
It is.
For everybody to see it.
Unbelievable. All right, back over to a couple of L.A. stories. I'm going to lightning around these and then move on to a couple of things in the final chunk of the show today. So we got to get to Oreo. Oreo the dog. Guy loses his dog Oreo in the Pacific Palisades fire. And the dog apparently knew where the house was, fled the fire, then came back to the home, which is amazing. The dog knew to go back to the smoldering. I guess the dog must have recognized the driveway gates.
I mean,
which
hear
were still standing.
Stories of animals returning to a specific spot.
Yeah. Yep. Truly remarkable. So here is the owner who has a reunion with Oreo after 5 days, which is, hold on, I'm looking for Oreo. Here we go. It's Casey Colvin is the owner's name.
It's Tika Tika! It's Tika Tika! It's Tika Tika! Hi, Boo Boo! How's the fire? Oh, honey! Oh, honey! Oh, my God, you're alive! You're alive! Oh, honey! Oh, wow!
And he's dancing in the streets.
So the house is burned down behind him.
Oh, yeah.
But the dog returns.
Yeah.
Yes!
You can take them back.
Oh, thank you, Jesus! Oh, thank you, God! NBC, where's NBC? Where are you, Liz? Thank you. Oh, honey, thank you. Oh, God almighty. Oh, Jane.
I mean, he's to say he's ecstatic is a little bit of an understatement.
I mean, this guy's devastated. He lost everything, and then there's his dog.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, so maybe a little over the top. Well, I don't know. Maybe not.
So, firefighter, he has two dogs.
Yeah.
Tika Tika, which the fire department gave him back, and here he is holding Tika Tika.
Tika Tika is a black-haired dog, and then Oreo is like a tan dog.
And no sign of Oreo. They go back to the site of the house where it once stood, and there's
It's Tika Tika. It's Tika Tika.
That's what he's saying. Here's Tika Tika.
How's the fire?
And then the dog runs down the driveway and under the gate. Oh, my God.
Good for him.
Wow. And then he runs out in the middle of the street and he gets hit by a bus. But he does. But he has the dog. He runs out in the middle of the street.
Man.
Hey, he's doing like a rain dance or something. Anyway,
man.
listen, I'm very happy
That is a joy.
I'm very happy for Casey Colvin. Maybe I would sound exactly the same way.
Probably.
All right, there is a major problem, and this is being brought to light. Selling Sunset, one of the real estate shows?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I'm aware there's so much crap on television. You just can't even consume it all. But, I'm aware of some of these shows.
But there's a lot of pretty good semi-reality shows based around the California real estate
All right,
market.
so Selling Sunset, star by the name of Jason Oppenheim. I don't know who he is. But he is making a point to expose that landlords around L.A. are now gouging on rent. So if you had a place that was $35,000 or $4,000 a month, they're doubling the rents because. I mean, do you know how many people are looking for rental homes right now because their homes were burned to the ground? You've got over 12,000 structures that are gone, the bulk of them single-family homes. And apparently some landlords around Los Angeles are jacking up rent prices, which is very unfortunate. And some will say, oh, it's supply and demand. Listen, at a time of an emergency and you got people that are homeless and they need to find something, to take a rent and double it or triple it, that's obscene. Yeah, so the Selling Sunset Star is accusing some landlords of taking advantage.
His group, the Oppenheim group, is representing people for free to help them find placements.
Yeah,
And
you have
so
reset his
this
audio.
Is his audio off of his Insta. Let me reset it.
Reset that. Let's hear Jason Oppenheim.
I woke up this morning to a lot of friends and clients reaching out because they lost their homes over the last couple of days, and they need help with places to live now. Their families are displaced, and as real estate agents, we obviously have an obligation to help them find a place, even when it's going to be difficult with thousands of people looking for places and not nearly as many houses available. But the Oppenheim Group is offering to represent anybody for free, or we will credit you back any commission paid if you've lost your house and you're now displaced. We will help you find a place or do our best to help you find a place to rent. Real estate agents need to come together and work hard, for the community. This is our time to be able to give back. So
yeah, he was talking about, this is a quote from him, there's price gouging going on in California. There are price gouging laws that are just being ignored right now, and this isn't the time to be taking advantage of situations. And it's also illegal to take advantage of a natural disaster. I know that like hotel rooms, if you jam those up in many states when a disaster has been declared, like here in Florida, when there's a disaster declaration or an evacuation or a hurricane emergency, that you can't jack up the price past a certain percent. I think
there's a published price in every hotel room for top dollar.
Well, even then,
like if the Super Bowl's in town.
But hang on, a lot of those rates that you see on the cards in hotel rooms on the door, a lot of those are gone, but they're still out there. Some of those rates were just like 10 times what the normal rate is. So I think it was just like a CYA, but I think it goes with what the published rate was or what the rate has been for the last like weeks or 30 days prior to a hurricane or an emergency, and you just can't gouge people, and they do it. Also, sadly, the weather's supposed to get bad again, so it could get even worse this week. And this is also scary that the L.A. fires are pushing closer to Brentwood. Brentwood is where O.J. Simpson's house was back in the day, and I know Brentwood very well off San Vicente, for instance. A lot of big celebrities are in that area in Brentwood. Kamala Harris has a home there, the current VP for the next week. LeBron James has a home in Brentwood. I remember when I worked at Pirate Radio in L.A., Scott Shannon's home was right off San Vicente in Brentwood. Roseanne, I believe, has or had a house in Brentwood.
Yeah,
a lot of big celebrities in Brentwood. And now the Pacific fire is headed toward Brentwood. So if this thing burns down Brentwood, holy crap. And Beverly Hills is not far away, obviously. Bel Air, other areas in the hills. Arnold Schwarzenegger is in Brentwood. Oh, Harrison Ford.
A lot of big stars. I mean, so if you're living in Brentwood,
Dr. Dre's in Brentwood.
If you're in Brentwood right now, you're packing your crap, right? You're getting out of there. Have they already evacuated?
Bob Schmuckler from Bob Schmuckler's Toupee Emporium is in Brentwood.
How is he going to pack all the toupees? Toupees, surprisingly flammable.
Yeah. I think that's Rick. Oh, you want to hear something weird?
Sure.
Ricky Lake apparently had a medium tell her that essentially she'd lose her house some time ago. Remember Ricky Lake? I saw a picture of her. She looks like the Quaker Oats guy now.
She's grayed out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't hide her age at all. Good for her.
Ricky Lake, who lost her home in the California wildfires earlier this week, posted an old clip of medium Tyler Henry predicting the outcome months ago. It was taken from the Netflix show Live from the Other Side with Tyler Henry. I don't believe in that crap. The medium told Lake and her husband, Ross Birmingham, that's an unfortunate name, that there would be a loss of material items.
What's his name?
Ross Birmingham.
That's the worst name ever.
When you're dealing with L.A. fires.
I mean, you're talking about unfortunate name. That's a hideous name.
Ross Birmingham. Yeah, it was an October episode, so just last year. Hey, Andrew, did we pull any audio of that? Did we pull any Ricky Lake audio? I don't think so. Nah, no. Anyway.
But still, to have the medium tell that to you.
Yeah, now Kim Kardashian is demanding higher pay for the inmates that have been brought in to help fight the fires.
Thanks, Kim.
Yeah, Kim, that's really what you're worrying about?
Let's settle up with
inmates?
them after the fact.
They're making 19 cents an hour, and that's better than nothing. All right?
You know what? If it's 19 cents, I might side with Kim. I mean, can we round it up to a quarter?
All right.
I mean, can we give him a quarter? I'll give him a quarter. I'll donate to give him a quarter an hour.
So Kim Kardashian really has to worry about what the inmates are. I think the inmates are just happy to be out of their cells.
Look, she's taken up several jail-related and incarcerated people's cases in the last couple years.
Yeah, she wanted Charles Manson released before he died.
She did. She wanted him to. She wanted to have him at the house.
I have no idea. If
Maybe
that's,
watch the kids or something.
I don't know if that's true.
No, it's true. Absolutely true.
Work him into a few episodes.
I'll go with it.
Keeping up with the Mansons.
Yeah. New babysitter, Sirhan.
Keeping up with Squeaky Fromm. And you know the whole Luigi Mangione situation? So now people are trying to, there are memes floating around where like Luigi Mangione would like a word with like the State Farm CEO. So now people are taking Luigi Mangione, who knocked off the United Healthcare CEO, and they're trying to apply the insurance issues that people might be having with claims with the fire.
I mean, people got insurance letters that, you know, they're not renewing it for the new year.
Yeah.
So end of 2024, your insurance sunsetted with that month.
Yeah.
And
so, there's a big...
week later?
Yep. A week later. So there are all kinds of insurance issues, and, you know, are there going to be people that had a lapse in coverage? You know, listen, you still have people that are fighting with insurance companies all over Florida, all over the Tampa Bay area because of the hurricanes that we had back in late September and early October. So, tell you what, I'm just saying, insurance company executives, just I think there was a wake-up call, whether it was healthcare insurance or whether it was other type of insurance. Certainly the Luigi Mangione situation certainly is a wake-up call to a lot of folks.
Don't go out to dinner, CEOs. That's all I'm saying. Just stay home. Order Grubhub.
Yeah, listen, I don't condone that type of threat, but...
just looking out for you.
Yeah, the insurance companies, there needs to be serious reform across the board in all aspects of insurance. All right, what else? 9:46 at the MJ Morning Show. Let me just lighten around a few things. I thought this was interesting. In the Ravens-Steelers game yesterday, this is the NFL on the MJ Morning Show.
That was the Saturday game.
Yeah.
It was a late Saturday game.
Was it late Saturday? All right, so the Ravens-Steelers game, it was delayed. Do you know about this?
What happened?
They said that there was an administrative timeout. What the hell is that? I never heard of an administrative timeout.
Okay, so I was watching the game, and they paused the
Right.
game. And then Al Michaels comes back, and apparently there was, and I didn't know NFL's stadiums were protected airspace.
Yes, they are
but
usually.
there was a drone.
Yes, that's what it was. So the administrative timeout and why the game was paused, it's like they hit the pause button on your DVR. That's TiVo.
Oh, well.
Yeah, which I still have TiVo.
Still. You know what I mean?
I'm rocking TiVo until my TiVo Bolt dies. And then I'll probably go YouTube TV.
A drone was seen over the stadium. Nobody knows how big it was.
So a drone was seen over the stadium, so they paused the game. And they called it initially an administrative pause or timeout.
I mean, you got to think that kind of stuff is only going to happen more. You know, I mean, you could protect the airspace all you want. Somebody from the parking lot can launch a drone to get video footage or whatever.
Yep.
But I think they clear the field and, have all the players on the sideline or close to the side.
Yep.
And they don't do anything until that drone is secure. Do they shoot it out of the sky? What do they do?
Should have.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they need guys on the rooftop with a bazooka or a, Barrett 50 cal.
Maybe not a bazooka. I don't know if bazooka is the best remedy for drones. I mean, I don't know that much about anti-drone technology.
NFL needs surface-to-air missiles. That's what they need. All right. And with that, we'll call it a day here on the MJ Morning Show. If you need to drop me an email, I'm mj@mjmorningshow.com. That's mj@mjmorningshow.com. My Instagram, man, I'll tell you what, my Instagram is blown up. I've got hundreds of new followers in the last couple of days. You know, that, did you see did I talk about the nuke plane on Friday's show? I think I did.
Yes.
Yeah, the Nuclear Safety Administration, they had a 737 land at Tampa International on Friday, or on Thursday, and I took a picture of it, and I did like a little narration and did like an Instagram reel. It's got like 120,000 views.
We're all really proud of you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
We're all beaming, all the listeners, myself included, we're all beaming with pride.
And then the car with all the crap piled up on the roof, the box springs, the mattresses, the couch, all on the roof of an SUV tied down, all wobbling all over. That's got a ton of views. So I picked up just a ton of followers on Instagram. So if you'd like to give my account a follow, it's Certified MJ Radio. Certified MJ Radio. If I could pick up 3 new followers right now, that'd be awesome.
That'd be great.
Yeah, my quota right now, I need to pick up 3 new followers. So if you don't follow my Instagram, follow me right now. Certified MJ Radio. Folks, have a great one. We'll see you back here tomorrow for the Tuesday show, the MJ Morning Show on Q105, and let's be careful out there.
The Q105 app is your connection to all the big contests, powered by